Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to your Moon Month Energy Update and your all Zodiac sign readings. It's amazing to be here, to be talking with you, connecting with you. Thank you for checking in with the Moon Magic Tarot channel. If you're new, welcome, and if you are returning, then thank you for being here. It's truly a privilege, and it really is a privilege and an honour to be here speaking with you today. Now, this Moon Month pretty much covers September, and the dynamics of September overall are monumentally powerful. We are encompassing a very, very, very powerful new moon. We're moving into eclipse season. We have the autumn equinox, which is a significant turning point in the Earth's calendar. I always feel these very significant turning points, like the two solstices, summer and winter, and the two equinoxes. They're kind of like, I see them as like a PowerPoint. And it's a point where the earth herself almost pauses for breath. And if you can get very still around that time, you can literally feel that turning point, that shift. I see these turning points in the year of the Earth's calendar as aligning with the four power points of the moon, the quarter moons and the full moon and the new moon. These are significant points of power in terms of our ability to stop, to pause, to tune in with the energy and kind of utilize it. And then the moon phases in between, or the times in between, are when we kind of become hopefully co-creative and active within our conscious manifesting. Manifesting for me is not just about stuff. It's not just manifesting the things we want, the job we want, or the partner we want, or the car, or the house, or the family, or whatever it is. It's also about understanding our own soul evolution, recognizing that actually everything we do on our own pathway of evolution to consciousness is benefiting us individually. It's also benefiting the collective whole. Now, we're living in times of profound accelerated growth, and this is not slowing down, this is speeding up. September, I feel, is a month when we're going to almost encapsulate kind of a glimpse of what's to come, or a glimpse of what we can actually create, what we're capable of creating if we can slow down and tune in with the energy enough. Now, you may find that things rock up in your world that kind of feel quite hectic, quite chaotic. You might feel for the first few weeks of September that you don't know whether you're coming or you're going. If this is the case, then listen to those events and those circumstances as showing you something that you are needing to kind of take charge of, I want to say, become aware of. If you're loaded with self-doubt or inner criticism, particularly around the new moon in Virgo, Virgo energy is amazing at paying attention to the detail, but actually Virgos can also pick themselves to pieces, and indeed, it can bring out the judgment within us of others as well. Integrity rules the day. The high vibration of integrity is really going to keep you grounded and on a plateau of what I would call evolution through self-awareness. That's what this month is all about. Unusually for me, my new moon readings, I'm actually going to do them on the day of the new moon. Usually I do them a few weeks ahead of time, or at least a few days ahead of time, to give you time to engage with the energy, to set your wishes and intentions. I'm going to do them on the day, because there's some really powerful dynamics taking place, and I want to tune in with those dynamics and really talk about how you can use that energy to kind of set, almost like to set an intention and your wishes they're like rockets of desire that you can put into the universe, and really sort of almost project forwards everything that you wish to co-create with the universe, particularly for this next quarter of the year, through from the autumn equinox through to it will be the winter. I say autumn equinox. If you're in the southern hemisphere, it's the spring equinox, but from the equinox to the solstice. Here in the northern hemisphere, it's the autumn equinox to the winter solstice. Southern hemisphere, it's spring equinox to summer solstice. But it's a pivotal time of shift, change, transformation, whether you're bringing in the harvest or whether you are sowing seeds, literally, if you're in the southern hemisphere and it's the springtime for you. But in a way, I sort of feel September is going to show us what we are actually harvesting, what we're sowing, what seeds are we sowing. And so some stuff that comes into our world could be pretty fab and amazing. Other stuff might be more challenging. I think there's also astrologically the potential for you to have things shown to you where maybe, I don't know, if the wool has been pulled over your eyes, something might come to light. If people haven't been entirely honest with you, things may be brought to light. If you haven't been honest with yourself, something may be brought to light. All of this comes with purpose. It's not there to cause you distress or difficulty. It's there to bring awareness to you so that you can choose within your own sovereignty what you're going to do about it, within your own self-mastery. So this is like a month where we practice self-mastery, and again, this lays a foundation for the future. So here I am talking away to you, but I'm just really sitting in that space of the energy of the coming month. So in just a moment, I'm going to run you through the moon phases, just the kind of incoming energy. I'm then going to show you the cards that were drawn for September, and I'm usually in my moon month because there's usually an overlap. A moon month doesn't necessarily work with a calendar month, but at the moment they do. September is pretty much the new moon month. So whereas I would normally bring in the cards for next month, I'm not actually going to do that. I'm just going to focus on the cards and the runes for September alone, because they really do contain every piece of information we need to know in order to navigate this moon month from a position of extraordinary or enhanced self-awareness. I mean, there is an extraordinary potential here, I think, but it may not always be easy. I'm then going to actually draw cards for each zodiac sign. I'm going to do those all zodiac sign readings for you, and we'll really be checking on the energy flow for each of the zodiac signs. Now, if you know your moon sign, your sun sign, your rising sign, it's worth checking out all of those readings. And you might want to cross-watch for other people as well. As always, there will be extended readings on Patreon and in the Moon Magic membership area here on YouTube. Those extra readings, those extended readings, are my way of giving something back to those of you who make additional contributions. And thank you from the bottom of my heart, not just from me, but from all of the people who use my free online library. If you're new to me, I have an online library, the A to Z of emotional health. This is a library that is full of resources that are connected to emotions and psychology. Very relevant at the moment because we can find ourselves being very emotionally reactive to circumstances. The more you understand your emotions and how to use them as a source of empowerment, the more empowered you are, the more you are able to be in your own driving seat rather than be on a sort of an autopilot, sort of reactive place where buttons are pressed and off you go. I mean, it happens to us all. We're human beings. We operate in this way. Awareness, knowledge is power. And as far as emotions go, it really is power. So that's what my library is all about, and thank you all of you who contribute on Patreon and in the membership area here on YouTube, because your contributions mean that library remains a free resource for anyone to access whenever they need to. So thank you from me and from all the people who use the library. So let's move on to the moon phases. I'm going to talk you through the energy of all the moon phases, then we will look at the cards for the month. And then we will move to your all zodiac sign readings. But powerful month, tons of stuff going on. Have an amazing moon month. And I hope that this whole video, really, the energy updates, the moon phases, I hope every piece of information in this will help to give you a heightened awareness of the kind of incoming energy that might be affecting the way that you feel, and put you in a position of greater empowerment, literally in your own driving seat, rather than being on autopilot. Okay, so let's move on to the moon phases. So this moon month begins with the new moon in Virgo. Now this will be on September the 2nd or the 3rd, depending on where you are on our beautiful planet. And the very best time to set your wishes and intentions, in fact, let me bring up those timings for you across the globe. The very best time to set your wishes and intentions is within the 8 hours following the exact point of union of the sun and the moon coming together. That is the exact point of the new moon. A new moon is always when the sun and the moon unite. It is like a sacred marriage, and that's why it is so powerful in terms of the conception and the sowing seeds for new ideas and new beginnings. So these are the timings. Now, a Virgo new moon actually brings you the perfect energetic flow to wish for and manifest an ideal work or career pathway. And so if you're looking for new career opportunities, or to upgrade your existing working environment, or to establish a better life-work balance, then the energy of this new moon will be 100% behind you, especially if your wishes connect you with a career position that aligns you with your greatest contribution. The influence of Virgo also lends itself really well to new moon wishes and intentions that assist you in the letting go of any form of inner critic or unrealistic perfectionism. And fascinatingly, the additional underlying astrodynamics of the day, as I've already said, really do suggest that issues of trust could be highlighted with the purpose of seeking resolution and healing. So if you have any historical issues of self-doubt that stem from judgment and criticism, this really is the perfect moon time to request assistance to identify them and then to easily release them. The moon then moves into her waxing crescent moon phase, and this is running from September the 4th to the 10th, passing through Virgo, Libra, Scorpio and into Sagittarius. Now, the energy of this waxing crescent moon phase gets off to a pretty intense start, suggesting that the influence of the new moon may have brought a few things to light that require your attention. But this intensity actually soon diminishes, and it leads to an overall energetic flow of potential consistent progress, with bursts of productivity interspersed with periods of more steady growth and expansion. And on the 6th, we see a heavenly dynamic of very expansive creative potential with insights and opportunities in abundance. So I want to say use this time well. And depending on what's happening in your world, remember that overall dynamic. Everything that is being brought to the surface, everything that's happening, is being shown to you to create empowerment and agency. So with consciousness, you can decide how you are going to respond and what you are going to shift and change. The moon then reaches her first quarter position on September the 11th in Sagittarius. Now, this first quarter moon actually has the feel-good factor around it, with the potential for some optimistic and confident realizations. However, sometimes these dynamics can bring a slightly overconfident feel to them. So given that the quarter moon naturally invites review, give your mind full permission to wander into the territory of big dreams, loaded with optimistic potential, but simultaneously remain grounded and try to also be very realistic. The moon then moves into her waxing gibbous moon phase from September the 12th to the 17th, and she's going to pass through Sagittarius, through Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. Now, we also do actually have a void of course period on September the 16th. This is for 4.5 hours when the moon moves from Aquarius into Pisces. A void of course period is when the moon is moving from one sign to another, and there's like a space in between when her energy isn't flowing through the kind of personality of a particular sign. Now, this happens pretty much as she moves from one sign to another all of the time, but sometimes it's a kind of a fleeting period that we barely notice, and at other times it's longer. This is 4.5 hours, so it's not epic, but if you find yourself feeling a little bit unhinged around this time, or a little bit out to sea, or indeed you just feel completely liberated, just be mindful that this is a pocket of time. Now, this moon phase actually has a distinctly kind of enthusiastic flavour to it. Now, that means there's a lot of energy flowing. Now, if this is harnessed, it could bring you resilience and staying power and durability to assist the progression of your manifestations. But if things are very intense, it could actually feel as though things are pushing forwards at a really fast rate of knots. The overall flow of energy is reasonably consistent throughout this period. However, on the 16th and 17th, which is also when we have this void of course period, we see a significant increase in the lunar intensity. And the astrodynamics suggests that to remain on track and maintain your progress, you may need to be holding firm boundaries, particularly in areas of relationship, whether this is partnership or in your work environment or your family. So just be mindful of this energy. We then come to the full moon lunar eclipse on September the 17th or 18th, depending on where you are on our beautiful planet. Let me bring up the timings for you. This full moon lunar eclipse is in deeply spiritual, deeply emotional Pisces. So welcome to eclipse season. Now, a full moon in Pisces will often highlight areas of your world that are still tangled in the past, bringing a window of opportunity to cleanse, release and heal. And given that this is an eclipse moon, and this will add a turbocharged dimension to exactly this dynamic, this promises to be a day of significant illumination. Now, eclipse season is said to open an energetic portal that enables you to see the reference point and the connections between past actions and present circumstances in order to create a point of power in the now to bring about a different future. So very dynamic, very amazing, however, can be challenging if we're looking at things from the past that were difficult. Now, the overall astrodynamics today suggests that much may be revealed in order to activate your highest possible potential for personal free will and conscious choice. A Piscean moon is deeply spiritual and opens up channels of communication that enable heightened intuition and that will naturally encourage you to find a greater sense of meaning in your life. And so, although the dynamics today do look to be intense, you may well experience some significantly powerful light bulb moments of realization. My recommendation for this day, if you are able, is to take as much time out to sit into a space of stillness, of meditation, of personal presence, to really absorb and notice whatever is going on around you. This was very much shown up in the cards and the runes for this moon month, so we'll look at these cards and these runes in detail when I've finished talking you through these moon phases. The moon then moves into her disseminating or waning gibbous moon phase, and this is running from September the 19th to the 23rd, and our beautiful moon will pass through Aries, Taurus and Gemini. Now, the first part of this moon phase really does feel like 4 seasons in one day, except that this inconsistent flow is happening pretty much every day between the 19th through to the 22nd. Now, this also marks the natural turning point of the autumn equinox in the northern hemisphere and the spring equinox in the southern hemisphere. I did speak about these right at the start of this video. This is a really important turning point, a point of power, and really worth getting very still, particularly given the astrodynamics that are taking place here. We then see a very different energetic emerging. So during this period, if you're able to get still and remain grounded, I think there is a massive potential to develop heightened levels of wisdom and awareness. If you feel yourself swinging like a yo-yo during this time, then sit tight, because the dynamics of the equinox on the 22nd support significant potential openings, and we are going to see a real shift in the energy. This is a power point, and this buoyancy and potential then remains until we reach the last quarter moon on the 24th. The moon then reaches her last quarter position on September the 24th, and this is in Gemini. Now, the flavour of this last quarter moon feels rather enlightened. So this is really interesting. Now remember, the new moon, the full moon and the quarter moons are they're like points of power. And the quarter moons are very much about bringing us information that we can use in order to move forwards with awareness. So if you find yourself experiencing an underlying sense of anticipation on this day, with your sixth sense heightened and an intuitive feeling that something really valuable or helpful is imminent and about to happen, then you are aligning beautifully with the energetic of the day. So trust in this and be open to observe, listen and notice without necessarily needing to either know or have a fixed outcome. This is a moment to trust the universe. All will become clear when the timing is right. This is really validated again by our cards and our runes. The moon then enters her balsamic moon or waning crescent moon phase, and this is running from September the 25th through to October the 1st, passing through Cancer, Leo, Virgo and into Libra. Now, following the sixth sense kind of inner gut feeling of anticipation at the last quarter, this waning crescent moon phase follows through as promised, bringing an incredibly creative, energetic flow. This is one of those times when it may feel like the planets are just lining up in your favour, the universe has your back, and everything can just fall into place. Now, given the ups and downs, not just of this moon phase, or this moon month rather, but of the overall astrodynamics of the year so far, I think this little pocket of time feels like an absolute blessing. You might just want to relax into it and make the most of some breathing space. But on the other hand, you may want to seize the moment and take full advantage of this gentle and yet powerfully positive flow of lunar energy. Now, we do have a void of course moon period on September the 29th. This is when the moon moves from Leo into Virgo, and it's for 6 hours long. So it's not epically long, but it's not teensy-weensy and short either. I actually think that if we think about the way that the energy of this moon phase is so beautifully positive, I sort of feel like the messages that are coming through are really relevant to this void of course period. You may want to take a breather, but you may actually want to use it to really enhance your progress while the lunar energy isn't really channeling through the influence of any particular sign. See how it affects you personally and use it well. Hello again. I hope that moon phase energy information is going to be helpful to you. What I've done in the description box, and I'll put it in a comment as well, I've listed the moon phases and I've put timings in the video with them and dates as well. So if as you go through this moon month, the month of September, you find that you're having a wobble or someone's thrown you a curveball or something's rocked up that seemed unexpected, you can come back to this video. You might want to bookmark the page actually. You can come back to it or just tune into the Moon Magic homepage and find it in the videos. But if you come back to it and you scroll down beneath it, you should be able to find the timestamp that is relevant to that moment in time for you. So, you know, if it's a particular date, just find that date and check in with the energy, because it may be really helpful and really grounding for you just to get that overview. Now, I'm going to look at the cards and the runes that were drawn for September. Before we do that and sort of have a little bit of a dive into those cards, I'm actually going to read to you from the Manifest with the Moon Astro Moon Diary and just read you the overview for September, because it kind of does encapsulate the kind of energy that we are going through. So I'll put it onto slides so you can see it on the screen as well. Let's have a look at that, and then let's shift the camera down and look at the cards and the runes. So welcome to September 2024, a month of shift and evolution. Welcome to eclipse season and the magical turning point of the autumn equinox in the northern hemisphere and the spring equinox in the southern hemisphere. The astrodynamics of this month suggest a profound shift in the collective energy, although not until the latter part of the month. Given that we're heading into eclipse season, this is not surprising, and with Uranus also shifting into a retrograde position, we might expect some interesting and potentially unexpected eye-opening moments, bringing heightened awareness in the build-up to the full moon eclipse and the equinox turning point. So if for the first 3 weeks of this month you feel a bit like a yo-yo and you can't work out whether you're coming or going, then simply notice, listen and observe, and trust that the universe is very much in charge of the proceedings. Curiously enough, the first card drawn for September is the card of Trust the Universe, which, aligning with Awaz, the rune of defense, clearly acknowledges exactly this overall dynamic, asking you not only to trust, but also to approach any hiccups, delays, or bumps in the road from a position of mindfulness and patience, in the knowledge that whatever is arriving in your circumstances is bringing exactly what you're going to need to transition to a space of new awareness and with renewed purpose and direction. Following the equinox shift, and as we move towards October, the lunar energy suggests that the universe will demonstrate that it really does have your back, with everything beginning to fall into place. Our second card of lack, aligning with Thurisaz, the rune of gateway, acknowledges and validates that leading a spiritual life does not mean going without. In fact, far from it. So if any of your buttons were pressed in the rather erratic energy at the beginning of the month, September looks to bring you ample opportunity to notice, observe, and then later rest any insecurities that may have previously held you back. Okay, so let's look at these cards and runes in detail. Now, Awaz, the rune of defense. This is a really powerful rune, especially with Thurisaz Gateway, because both of these runes are advising kind of contemplation, reflection, mindfulness in order to achieve an extraordinary sense of empowerment and spiritual guidance. Now, this rune speaks of right action and the ability to be still enough to foresee what might evolve in the future, like the consequences of your actions. So it advises patience, it advises perseverance as well, but perseverance through right action. Integrity is the name of the game. Now, trust the universe is fascinating to get with this rune. Sometimes we can strive relentlessly to make something happen and then experience huge disappointment when our efforts do not work out. Whilst action on our part is required, if we are too determined to stay on one course only, we inadvertently block ourselves from the guidance and direction that the universe is trying to bring us. This is a time to trust and let things happen. So we're being shown through potentially both external events. I think it's the interaction between our external events and our responses to our external events, if that makes sense. It's kind of external things happening and then the choices, the conscious free will and choice as to how we either respond or react or how we receive that information. So whatever takes place in your world during September, I think if we can hold that golden rule that the universe is actually very much in charge for the first part of the moon month, and all kinds of stuff may happen. You may see global events. We may collectively see global events that feel like stuff is being turned upside down. There could be demands for justice, demands for things to be put right. Some of those demands will be rational and grounded in right action, and others may not be. You know, there is a lot of resistance to integrity. I said right at the start, I think we might be shown things that have been either swept under the carpet or hidden from us. If someone has lied to you or kept something out of your awareness, or indeed you haven't been honest with yourself, something could be revealed that brings you back on track. But often if you've got somebody let's say they're operating through the lens of a lower vibration, perhaps that's just the age and stage of their personal soul evolution, and maybe their role is to come here to perhaps to help some of us actually step up. Sometimes the people that we meet who are really, really challenging and really, really difficult are the people who bring us our greatest life lessons. They're the people who push us to actually step up and grow. Otherwise we might trundle along having a very happy existence but not really step into our fullest potential. So sometimes difficult people, let's say, difficult circumstances are kind of what's needed to move us forwards. And whatever happens, whatever's brought to the surface, whatever takes place in the first part of this month, this card is really saying, trust that it's coming with purpose. If you can sit in a space of mindfulness, rather than defend against something, if you can listen to it as a form of guidance, I honestly think that you will navigate this moon month from a much easier position than people who are in an emotionally reactive place. And remember, people will try and cover their tracks if they're operating in a lower vibrational space. People often, when you think about the kind of BS that people put forward, perhaps out of shame or embarrassment, but however you look at it, people don't like to be held to account when they've got something wrong. And sadly, we currently live in a world where mistakes are often really sort of slated, rather than being seen as a space of growth. A mistake is seen as something that we can almost target people for or point the finger. Actually, we all make mistakes, we all mess up. The key is actually helping somebody to kind of recognize that mistake and give them an opportunity to step into a place of awareness from that. However that forms. It doesn't necessarily mean also that you should not maintain really strong boundaries. If you are meeting any circumstances that are not in alignment with integrity, boundaries, this rune always speaks to me of boundaries. We then have the card of lack. Leading a spiritual life does not mean living in lack. This card asks you to release any underlying beliefs that you may hold regarding entitlement and worthiness that may be blocking your ability to receive. When you have an abundance of wealth, both inner and outer, you will have an abundance to give and to share with others. So I sort of feel when we get this card, particularly in alignment with Trust the Universe and with Awaz, this particular rune of defense, and Thurizaz, this is a rune that asks you to be mindful, to pause, to reflect, to live reflectively, to notice. And however you are responding, let's say we are recognizing in this card and this rune that external events are taking place that could press your buttons or trigger something in you or highlight something for you. Open yourself up to a new level of awareness. How you respond to that is really important, because you could be being shown underlying inner limiting beliefs or circumstances that reveal to you things from within you that are in the way of you being able to step into your fullest potential. Anything within you that says you can't have or you don't deserve. I think these sorts of things are going to be challenged. Now, some of those challenges may come in the form of support arriving for you, but they could also come in the form of more difficult experiences, again, things being revealed. However we look at it, this is a moon month when we're being offered a gateway to turn things around, to recognize that empowerment comes from within. It's not about what happens externally, it's how we respond to what's happening externally. And I think these cards, these runes, are really highlighting this. Thurizaz is a very, very, very powerful kind of, almost like a statement of intent. It reminds me of the Judgment card in the tarot. It's like things can come to a head. The purpose being that you stop, you stand still, you notice, you observe, you listen, but you also step into a space of gratitude. I've always feel, for me, this rune speaks to me of gratitude, a high vibrational resonance of being grateful for whatever is brought into your world, in the recognition that it offers you a space to grow. And from that, you can step through the gateway into your own source of agency, your own source of sovereignty, your own source of empowerment, your own source of personal conscious free will and choice. So those are our cards and runes for the moon month. Very, very powerful. In fact, I'm going to bring these in, I think, actually, to every single all zodiac reading as a starting point. And then we'll work with the cards that we draw on top of these. So beautiful souls, I think let's do that. Let's move to Aries and draw cards on top of these and see what we are shown for the coming moon month, which pretty much encompasses the month of September 2024. Aries, welcome to your readings for September. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is throw some runes for you. Okay, I've got one firmly attached. Okay, and that's what else is coming for you. And I'm also going to get some charms out as well. Charms have really been speaking to me. So, okay, let's see what we have here. So you have Perth, the rune of initiation. You have the rune of flow, Lagos. You have the rune of Algiz, protection, and you have the blank rune. How interesting. Now, charms, you've got a seahorse. You've got an owl. You have got, oh, look at this, would you? Look at this. You've got two 5-pointed star, two Venus stars, and this one has a fairy sitting in the middle. Wow. Okay. Okay. And you also have a rabbit from, this is like the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, I think. Okay. Right. I actually think you are entering a space of profound possibility. Absolutely profound possibility. I'm going to say hold on to your emotions this month, my lovely Aries, because I feel that some things could happen quite quickly, actually. Now, we know that the universe is very much in charge this month, this moon month, and we are overcoming, we're being shown things that we need to overcome in order to basically almost step into our fullest potential. I think you're going to have news. This little rabbit is heralding, it's like blowing a little trumpet. Da 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 da. That's what it feels like. Da da. I have news to announce. If any of you are seeking love, then I suspect it could well connect to love with two Venus stars coming through here, two 5-pointed stars. But you are flowing into a space of possibility. I feel as though your emotions might be quite a roller coaster, actually. Let's just draw some cards, some primary cards to see what else is going on for you. We have drawing down the moon, knowledge, and oops, I'm just going to put those back, way too many. May we kindly have information for Aries for this moon month. May we very kindly have information for Aries this moon month. Synchronicity, the moon's moment. Look at the timing of this. Drawing down the moon and the moon's moment. Synchronicity. So I actually think this is very interesting. Given that I feel like we're in this portal to the future, we've got eclipse season, we've got the equinox. We've got a very, very, very strong new moon. I rather feel that something you have been manifesting, I think the moment is coming for it to arrive, awaken. Whatever we say, I mean, you can announce it. It's like something that you can announce. Something that can be seen with the owl here. Seahorses, as I understand it, actually do mate for life. For some of you, this could be a connection to partnership. If you are in an existing relationship, this could actually up its game. Somebody could propose, for example, if you've been wanting them to. Perhaps the timing is right for a commitment to move on to the next phase of commitment. If you've just been casually dating, it could be that moment where you decide to become a couple. If you're single, you might meet someone. Now, that's just one scenario. Obviously, not every Aries is going to be looking for love. Some of you may be in the most wonderfully stable relationships or indeed single and loving it. So that's totally cool. But there is definitely an element of a message coming through here. And if it is, I think it is because the universe is orchestrating this. The timing is right. And maybe also part of it is overcoming any inner doubts around having this. It's like you've come through an initiation period. You've come through a rite of passage. You're moving and coming out the other side. Let's draw tarot cards for you, my lovely Aries. What are we showing for Aries? What else is happening in this moon month for my lovely Aries? It's that one, those two. Okay, we have we have the Four of Swords. Yeah, you've been waiting for this. This is something you've been waiting for. We have Son of Wands. Look at that snake rising. The Kundalini energy. We have Three of Cups, so we have a celebration. Okay, we have Five of Cups. Okay. We have Seven of Cups. We have Four of Wands, again, a celebration. We have Six of Cups. Gosh, all of these cups. I think, you know, we are talking about relationships here, Aries. Now, relationships don't necessarily need to just be about love, of course. We could be talking about a friendship group or a family situation. Something that comes to fruition. We have the Judgment card and we have the Moon, and we've got drawing down the Moon. Okay, I'm going to place these here. Okay, my beautiful, beautiful Aries. Aries, I actually do think there is something in a connection to, actually very specifically to relationships, that's going to come right for you. Something you've been wanting. If there's been anything that has been difficult, if there's any lack of loyalty in a relationship, if you've experienced disappointments, if you've been tired, working too hard, something is massively shifting here. It really is massively shifting. We've got cards of celebration here. We've got the Three of Cups, we've got the Four of Wands, both of which really honour a celebration. In relationship, often a commitment to the next stage of the journey. It's like you can put down roots. If any of you have been contemplating moving home, let's just think about love in a more pure way. I want to talk about, I think love is around you. Let's just bring that in, Aries. Love is around you. Whether this is your relationship to yourself as well, or your relationship with your home, your family, your location, something reaches a conclusion here and it moves forwards. You are drawing down the Moon. Interestingly enough, with knowledge coming through, I do think, given the overall dynamics of this moon month, which I've spoken about, if you check the bit at the front with me talking, you'll know, I did say some of the astrodynamics are suggesting that maybe something could come to light, information could come to light, something could be illuminated. The synchronicity of it is really important. Piece of information might come to light that enables you to move forwards, to make a commitment to something. We've got the Judgment card here. I think you're going to find yourself at a point where something you have been manifesting, you draw it down, you bring it in. The universe is actively working with you. That kind of moment has come. And with the Son of Wands, I mean, this is a Knight of Wands, I believe. I think that's right in this pack, where they have a son and a daughter. Let me just check for you. Yes, I am right, it is. I was just thinking that the daughter is the page, the son is the knight. So we've got movement here. We've got movement, we've got love, we've got stuff that you like. We're seeing like a dove of peace rising in the Judgment card. I'm seeing peacefulness, peace return to you, especially with the Four of Swords as well. There's a lot of contemplation. If there has been anything in your world, Aries, and this will be unique to you, it's, you know, this is a reading for many, but whatever has been going through potentially periods of upheaval or turmoil, or causing you any difficulty or any doubt as to whether it can happen, I think the synchronicity is monumental for you, and this will be something that you love and that you can make a commitment to, and that you can kind of announce to the world with confidence. It's like you can put down roots. It is as if you're moving house, for example, if you were buying your first home and you actually sign the contracts, it's for real, you can announce it, you can celebrate it. Something is opening up from a place where you have been. I think it's been a slog to get here, if I'm truly honest. I'm not suggesting that that's a bad thing, because you'll have learned along the way. But I do actually feel that whatever is, I kind of almost want to put it at the top of your priority wish, your manifestation wish list, Aries. I feel your manifestation wish list is about to come true. Your top dollar manifestation is going to happen. That is what I think we're seeing here. Whatever that top wish is, you're drawing it down. You actualize it. And it comes with an openness. You can actually genuinely celebrate it. You can see it. It's visible. You can commit to it. It's there. You can announce it. You can celebrate it. And I do feel it kind of emerges quite fast here, actually, which is very, very interesting, because this is not the easiest of moon months. There's a lot of turmoil, but this feels really positive, my lovely Aries. It really, really does. It feels like the synchronicity is right. I'm going to draw just a few more cards for you, and then I'm going to move to the extendeds. May we have a little bit more information for my lovely Aries, please? Any further guidance? Ace of Pentacles. Okay. The Hanged Man. I'm going to take the one on the base here. And the card of Strength. This is something you've been waiting for. You've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and suddenly it arrives. It's given to you. The interesting thing is, it is given to you. It's handed to you. I don't think it's something that you've had to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't think it's something that I'm not saying you haven't worked for it, because I think you really, really have. But it is as if the universe comes along and says, right, okay, the timing's right now, here you go. Try this on for size. I think you've been waiting, and I think it's been an endurance test to get to this point, to hold on to hope, to believe that this is possible. But this is the point when that manifestation happens. I'm loving this, and I do feel you can literally make a commitment to it, put down roots. How exciting. Aries, I'm really thrilled for you. I don't know what this will be for you, but it's a commitment to something that you want, that you've been manifesting, whatever that may be for you. Now, my beautiful Aries, I'm going to move into the extended readings. The extended readings are something that I do for my Patreon people and my YouTube membership people. I've mentioned that at the beginning, I think. So I think what I will do in the extendeds is, I'll probably work with these cards already, but I'm going to build on this reading, and I'm going to, draw lots of extra cards around specifics. So we'll ask about love and relationships. We'll ask about money, career, finances. We'll kind of see how this generally pans out for you. But Aries, this looks to be pretty exciting. You're welcome to join me for the extendeds if you wish. Otherwise, my beautiful souls, I really look forward to seeing you for some other readings really soon. And keep us posted, because something is being given to you. I feel maybe there was a hiccup in the proceedings. You might have thought you were getting this sooner, and then something happened. We've had a lot of retrograde energy, of course, so there's been a lot of unexpected upheavals, but this does feel as though it's arriving at almost at a time when you thought it might never happen. Very, very exciting, Aries. Beautiful souls. Thank you so, so much for joining me, for liking, sharing, subscribing. I will see some of you for the extendeds. Tons and tons of love, beautiful souls, whether you are watching for yourself or cross-watching for someone else. Tons of love, beautiful Aries. Hey Taurus, welcome to your readings for this month, this moon month. I'm going to first of all draw some runes, throw some runes for you actually, and also some charms. These are your runes, and your charms are, gosh, lots of charms for you. And then we will dive into your cards. So the very first rune that we see is Suelo. This is the rune of wholeness. We also see Ingus, the rune of fertility. We then have the rune of flow. How interesting. And then you have the rune of constraint. My apologies, you might not have been able to hear that with that noise. A constraint. This is known as a rune of constraint, Nathus. What an interesting set of runes and what an interesting order. I'm going to put that here. Now, we have a beautiful little fairy. Now, she's holding something. She's like holding holding up to the camera and missing it completely. She's holding an apple or something like that, a circle. Depends which way round you put it, or a ball or an orb or something. You then have the heart, which is, it contains the peace symbol. You have the bee, you have the tree of life, you have the seahorse, and you have the bicycle. So those are all your charms. Okay, now that is helping to make sense of Nathus here. Okay, sort of wondering what, because I feel like there's a contradiction in your energy here. On the one hand, this is all about stuff moving forwards, fertility, flowing into existence, you know, everything kind of looking really, really rather excellent. There is something that needs to be completed or attended to, I think, before you can move forwards. I feel for you, my lovely Tauruses. There's some kind of a commitment to a pathway forwards that is needed here. And I almost feel as though you're going to need to cross the T's, dot the I's. I sort of, or what's the word I'm looking for? It's like the preparation for something. You know, preparing for something, and then you make a commitment and you kind of knuckle down. It would be like if you were, I don't know, let's say you were putting forward a proposal to somebody. You've had an idea. Well, you've got to make the proposal. You've got to build the proposal. There's so much hope and positivity and fabulous creative energy around this idea. But there's a lot of work that goes into the proposal before you can then kind of like enter a negotiation. With Nathus, I feel there is something that you can move towards that then becomes something that is then negotiated. I feel this will be towards the end of the month, actually. If you think of the flow of energy, if you've watched the energy update part of this video, you know, there are various kind of ups and downs along the way. You know, there are pockets of productivity, you know, it's not that it's not running smoothly, but it's like at the very end of the moon month, the last kind of moon phase, the energy is just zinging, and I kind of feel that this is like lots of work to culminate to something that then has loads of fertility and potential for the future, but you've got to then enter a negotiation around it, if that makes sense. Let me get some more cards and see. I say some more cards because we haven't really drawn your cards yet. Okay, out of bounds moon boundaries. There's your card. Out of bounds moon boundaries. And we have drawing down the moon knowledge. Okay. This is interesting. I do feel there is something in your world you're kind of negotiating is probably the right word, really, I think, or something that needs to be negotiated. It's the right pathway for you to follow. There's a very fruitful outcome to it. in the longer term, but I think you need to maintain your boundaries and follow through with something so that you can sort of draw it down, manifest it, bring it to you. Now this is a moon month when it really feels as though we have the potential to, it is like a portal to the future. Eclipse season really opens our capacity to kind of reference the past and then engage with the present, so we're building the future. And with the equinox energy as well, I really do feel there's something quite solid, quite practical almost, that you can organize, orchestrate, that creates the boundaries or the foundation of something that can then become fertile. I do feel like there's like a negotiation of some sort. Let's ask for more information. May we have more information about Taurus's month ahead, please? Okay, so you've got the Nine of Swords. This is your first card. Okay, so this would suggest that it's a bit of a headache around you, and yet you have the Star. Yeah, you see, there's this contradictory energy. There's all this positivity, and yet we have Nathus, the rune of constraint. So it's like there's something that is so loaded with possibility, and yet there is something around it or a block to it that you're having to navigate or negotiate in order to get there. It could be like finding a new job or something like that. Now you have the Two of Wands, so we are going to see movement forwards here in this moon month of this. That is the card for you. Two cards. We have the Nine of Pentacles, and that's lovely. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. Beautiful, really lovely. Okay, I'm also seeing this, and I think the card on the base of the pack, there's two coming through here. Okay, let's see what we have. We have the Ace of Swords. Oh, lovely. Father of Cups, so this is the King of Cups. And then you have the Death card. Fabulous. Death and rebirth. Okay, I want to say, my lovely Tauruses, you can do this, okay? Whatever you are, whatever the spark of your heart is, whatever the something that you want to manifest, whatever is happening, whatever you need to navigate, negotiate, you can do this. You can get to the end result. Okay, especially with the Ace of Swords, Father of Cups, the combination of these, it's a new clear beginning. It's a new mindset around something. I mean, this can suggest in some instances a conflict, but I feel that I feel if there is a conflict of interest around you. I mean, let's say as well, maybe if there's something you want or you want to pursue and there's a conflict of interest around it, literally, I think you'll work it through. You'll climb that mountain, you'll get to the top of that mountain. There will be a shift in the energy at a certain point. With your charms, with the bee and the tree of life, this has there's something that has long-term potential for you. And with the bicycle, I think it will emerge. Whoever or whatever you are negotiating, it's a very good fit for you. It has longevity. It's loaded with hope, it's loaded with possibility, it's loaded with potential. The challenge really is, in part, I think that you're worried about negotiating around it, or you have anxiety about whether or not it will work, or you have anxiety about whether it's okay to hold your own boundaries or ask for what you need. And actually, it's essential that you do. I think the key here, interestingly enough, is that you hold your boundaries, that you're really firm around what you need, around your knowledge of what you need. You're the only person that knows what the outcome is that you personally desire. Nobody else can decide what that is. I think you know what you desire. I think you know what you really would like. And your reading is suggesting that you can negotiate it. I think you are worried about it, but you can do this. The key here as well is negotiating with a view to the longer term outcome. It's kind of like, almost like looking ahead and thinking, right, I know what I want, and therefore the contract that you create needs to reflect that longer term goal, the outcome, the dream, the vision. It's no good creating a contract that serves you in the immediacy of now if it doesn't take into account the longer term vision. So I'm voicing this idea of a contract, a negotiation. This could be in connection to your work, a creative project. I mean, there's something, it could literally be just you're building a new friendship or you're building a relationship. If you think of a relationship as a contract, but one that's very rarely spoken about in an open, clear way. In my counselling work, for those of you that are new to my channel, I worked as a accredited therapist for well over 28 years and still do some of that work to this day. When I worked with couples, which I did for a long time, I used to talk to them about the contract between them, because I think, we meet, we fall in love, and both parties often imagine that the other person is going to fulfill their wishes and their dreams, but they haven't necessarily sat down and discussed what those wishes and dreams are. So then we end up with a lot of disappointment, because one person thought it was going to, their relationship was going to grow into this shape, and another person thought it was going to grow into that shape, and then there's a conflict. Actually, if you sit down and really talk about that contract, you can really work out, how to kind of make it happen in a way that works for both people. Or if you're genuinely not compatible, however sad that is, you can part company, move on, and you're free to move on without any hindrances and find somebody who can meet your needs, and they can find someone who meets theirs, in a very sort of pragmatic way, which I think is what Nathus is saying, cross the T's, dot the I's. It really works, actually. And most people, if they've fallen in love, I'm going back to that particular setting, they do want to make it work. So they are prepared to then make compromises, but it means you remove the disappointments. You start to negotiate something, and then each person can work at assisting the other person in bringing that kind of together. So I think there's a negotiation to be had. Let's just draw a couple more cards, and then I think I'm going to move into the extendeds. Yeah, Knight of Swords. Do you know, I don't feel I need to draw any more. I just want to say go for it. Be really clear. Really, really clear about what you want, what is right for you, and I think you will be able to arrive at the kind of the rebirth and the basis of what you need to bring something forth in a really, really good way. And if you part company, it will be because actually you can then reform that contract or that negotiation with someone that's right. So whatever this negotiation is, it could be anything, a house, moving house, it could be a job, anything, but there's some kind of negotiation. That's what's coming through as the most prominent thing in your world this month, my beautiful Taurus. Now I'm going to literally move to the extendeds. I'm going to build on this reading. The extendeds are available, as I mentioned at the beginning, on Patreon and in the Moon Magic membership area, and we'll dive into love and relationships. We'll dive into the stuff of your world, your home world, your family, that kind of stuff, your work, your career, the practical stuff of your life, and see what more information we get for you. See if we can get more details as to perhaps how to navigate this negotiation. So yeah, that's what I think we're going to be doing in your extendeds. Beautiful souls, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the Moon Magic Tarot channel. It's a blessing and a joy to be connected with you. I'm sending you tons and tons of love, and really looking forward to seeing you again really soon, either in the extendeds or here on the main YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your likes, shares, for subscribing. Don't forget to press the little bell icon if you want to make sure you never miss a reading. Subscribe, press the little bell icon, that should work. Beautiful souls, tons of love. Have a wonderful month, Taurus. Beautiful Geminis, welcome to your moon month reading. I'm going to throw some runes for you, and I'm going to throw some charms as well. Ooh, one has flown over there. Okay, so you have 3 runes and 2 charms. Your first rune, excuse me, is Hagalas. Now this is very, very interesting because there's a lot of Uranus energy around this moon month, and this is a very Uranus type energy, quite the potential for significant changes. I would say for you very positive changes with nourishment, possessions, the rune of Fehu, and then we have the rune of Rado, journey. You also have a bat and a turtle. So we're looking at transformation of something with a very, very fruitful outcome. However, it might come in a slightly disruptive or unexpected way. Okay, so positive outcomes, but disruption along the way. Let's check out and see what your cards are showing us, my lovely Geminis. We have Moon shining, stay in integrity. You have, I think, 2 cards here. Yes, so you've got 3 altogether. You're the first sign that's had 3. The falling moon, release blocks. And quicksilver moon, changes. Wow. Okay, really in alignment with Hagalaz here. I just do feel there could be, in fact, let's put that over here. I think you are looking at something that changes quite fast. Something that could come along unexpectedly that you're having to attend to. Stay in integrity. Don't, and also I want to say, get out of your own way. I think whatever arrives, whatever happens unexpectedly, it's happening with real purpose. It really, really is. It reminds me of this card, Trust the Universe, which is the energy that's around for all of us. You know, sometimes we can strive relentlessly to make something happen and then experience huge disappointment when our efforts do not work out. While action on our part is required if we're too determined to stay on one course only, we inadvertently block ourselves from the guidance and direction that the universe is trying to bring to us. This is a time to trust and let things happen. I think events are unfolding around you, lovely Gemini, that need to. I think something is emerging, it's happening, and the purpose is some form of transformation. Changes are on the way. And the rune of journey, Rado, actually does speak of removing inner blocks to progress. We've got release blocks. So I think whatever is happening needs to happen, and it's purposeful. This is kind of getting out of your own way, letting the universe have the upper hand and move something forwards. It's almost like, I think that the less resistance that you have, the more easily this moon month is going to flow. Let's get more information for my lovely Geminis. Saying that. And those as well. Okay, we have Mother of Wands. Yes, look at this, like a snake shedding its skin. We have the 3 of Swords. We have the, I think that must be a 9, yes. We have the 9 of Cups. Daughter of Cups. Okay. Oh, this is really rather good, beautiful souls. We have the 10 of Wands. We have the High Priestess. Let me move these around so we get everything in view for you. And then your last card, my lovely Geminis, is you have the 6 of Pentacles. Fabulous. This is a card of generosity. How lovely. How super lovely. So, Geminis, let us just tune in with your cards. I think a change is coming, and I think it happens. It's either unexpectedly or you would have preferred it not to happen in this way, and this could well be around you. Something has, yeah, it's been disruptive to you, I feel. Could be connected to your family as well, a family incident or a family situation. There's something going on here. Now, integrity is the key here. I think this is one of those circumstances when something is happening that's out of your control, it's out of your remit. We don't have control over others. I think, you know, we all know that. What we do have is control over how we respond. We don't have control, we can't, you know, I think there is something here that you don't have agency over. It's something external to you. Now, whatever that is that's external to you, I honestly think it's you could tie yourself in knots trying to navigate it or sort it or trying to manage it. It needs to run its course. It's not yours to do. There's something around you that is not yours to tackle, but you're having to live with some form of the consequences of this. What is really positive here, and it is really positive, is that I think it's going to release you, the outcome, from some sort of burden. This has got that flavour. I'm going to draw some clarifying cards. Maybe have additional cards. I'll voice this in just a moment where I'm thinking. Okay, we've got the Nine of Cups. Again, look at that, would you? We have the Queen of Cups. How interesting, the Nine of Cups again. We have the Seven of Wands. And then we have the Judgment card. Okay. I think there may be something that you've taken on, or you may be giving, with the Nine of Cups. You may be actually giving a lot of yourself, or there's the Queen of Cups. What's the message coming through here for you, Gemini? Self-care is coming through here. I want to say look after your interests and let other people look after theirs. There's a situation around you that feels as if it has become burdensome. And it could almost draw you in to the point where you're trying to give of yourself. And I think something is coming along that closes that doorway for you, interestingly enough, or something comes to a head and something changes. The purpose of this change is to release you from the burden. It's to release you from the responsibility of something. Whatever this is. It's very guided. It's absolutely guided. It's really purposeful that this is happening. The outcome is very fruitful for you. I sort of feel like bang in the middle here. The purpose, the higher purpose and the outcome of this is really, really is about the universe looking after you. The universe is looking after your best interests actually here. The universe is really, really supporting you in achieving something that releases you from a situation that isn't okay. However, my lovely Geminis, I feel that the changes are coming in a way that feels disruptive. It may even be with Hagalaz that for some of you, you're in a situation and you've sort of gradually but surely come to be fully aware of it, and you reach a point where you think, do you know, this isn't okay, I really have to change this. But I do feel more that circumstances around you are showing, if that's the case, that circumstances around you are showing you that change is needed. That's what I feel we're seeing here. Now, I suspect you will know what this means because of the burdensome bit, or it's a sense of something being either an overload. You may have just been working too hard, my lovely Geminis, and it's almost like something has to give. You know, you need to take some time out. Get out of your own way. Stop trying to pressure yourself into working too hard, and allow yourself to actually maybe take some time out. Look after yourself. Rather than feeling like life is a competition all the time, where you've got to, like a competition between your home life and your working life. Actually, this is a time when something happens here, or is happening around you, to really bring something to light. The universe is actually looking out for you. The universe has your back. You are being looked after, and you are being guided down a pathway of integrity and of benefit for you. Right at the centre here, we've got these two nine of cups. This is beautiful, and the Queen of Cups. Your best interests are being looked after here, which is absolutely lovely. So something is transforming, and even if it's disruptive, my lovely Geminis, don't tangle yourself in knots over this. There's a real higher purpose, and that is your well-being. Something is being addressed here with your best interests at heart, and it's a really beneficial outcome for you. Geminis, I feel I'm going to move into the extended readings now, actually. I think what I'll do, they're available on Patreon and in the YouTube membership area if you'd like to do a bit of a deeper dive. That's what we'll do. We'll look at relationships and see how that is kind of coming through. We'll look at the building blocks of your world, your home, your family, your work, career, and see what this kind of energy is about. See if we can get more details for you. So beautiful Geminis, thank you so much for being here. Beautiful souls, I'm sending you a huge hug because it feels as though the change feels either unexpected or not exactly as you it's not running to plan, or it's out of your control is basically the gist of it. But it is absolutely in your benefit and in your best interest. There's no question of it. I really feel you are supported so much by the universe this month, and so just let any blocks to change, release them and allow these changes to enter your world, because this is much needed. It really is. There's something that would become even more of a challenge, or even more burdensome, or even more difficult if you were to remain within it. Whatever this means for you, I think you'll hopefully know whatever this is about for you. And if you don't, I think a change is coming, but it's really purposeful. It's leading you in a direction that is the right way for you, the direction of lovely higher values of integrity. Beautiful souls, I'm going to move to the extendeds. Thank you so much for being here. Tons of love, Gemini. Cancer, welcome to your readings. I'm going to throw some runes for you and some charms, and then we'll draw your cards. Let's see what's happening for you for this moon month. Okay, so you have the rune of journey, Rado, and Hagelas, the rune of disruption, actually. You then have the blank rune, and you have the rune of Gibbous, partnership or a gift. We have your charms. We've got a flamingo. We've got a dog. Gosh, lots of animals for you. We have a cat and we have an owl. Okay, these are your charms. Okay, so I'm kind of hearing you're needing to be balanced in something. Okay. Needing to be balanced, and you're needing to see something very clearly here. Lovely Cancer. Very interesting, we have a cat and a dog. Cats and dogs are so very different. And I'm also hearing maybe there could be people fighting like cats and dogs. It's that saying, isn't it, around you. Let's draw cards and see what else we are shown for you, my lovely Cancer. What is happening for my Cancers in this moon month? We have the moon's moment, synchronicity. This card is coming up so often in so many of the readings, it's remarkable. We then have moon cycles, patience, and you have a third card from this pack, moon dance, celebration. Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, I feel there could be some kind of a conflict around you. I don't think it's yours, actually, Cancer. I just feel that there could be some kind of a conflict around you, and you're needing to stand tall, stand firm, really look at this from all angles, not be drawn into any kind of sides or anything like that. I'm seeing a really positive outcome, moon dance, celebration. What is going on for my lovely Cancers this moon month? We have the Five of Swords. We have Father of Cups and the Moon. Okay. I feel like you might be a bit of a peacekeeper this moon month, actually, my lovely Cancers. You have the Seven of Wands. the Ten of Wands, and the Nine of Swords. Wow, this is very, very interesting. Yeah, I feel that there may be some conflict going on around you or some disruptions. I'm not entirely sure that it's yours, if that makes sense, Cancer. Though there's value in you seeing it. Yeah, there's value in you seeing what is going on around you. That's what I'm hearing. Something is to be illuminated. Because whatever is illuminated, now you may need to be a little bit tactful about how you handle this. You may need to be quite thoughtful about where your loyalties sit, or, you know, and try to keep an independent perspective here. And that may be a little tricky because, you know, emotions are involved here. I suspect as the moon month emerges, now we start here with these two cactuses. You see, I just feel there's a prickly energy around you. Very, very interesting. Even with the moon, these trees look a little spiky. This Nine of Swords is particularly spiky in terms of what's seen. I think around the full moon, something will kind of shift. Okay, I suspect whatever is going on in your world at the moment, I reckon around the full moon, something will come to light. And so if you've been feeling like there's a bit of a sticky situation, or that people are a bit prickly around you, or things are not quite being said, or you're not quite sure what's going on, I suspect it'll come to light around the time of the full moon. And I think that's when you can find the resolution. Things will move on. The energy will diminish. You might actually find in the build-up to the full moon, my lovely Cancers, that you are finding yourself experiencing just sort of like the energy of people around you, and kind of really questioning what's actually going on. Now, the key here is patience. Allow stuff to be shown to you. Remain independent. Don't be drawn into anything. Allow stuff to unfold before you. You'll very gradually find out everything you need to find out. It will be shown to you. It will be revealed. And as it's revealed, and as and when it's revealed, you will then be able to kind of almost decide what you need to do about it. Isn't that interesting? The candle has just gone out. I find that fascinating, the timing of that. Just as we're saying, you'll be able to work out what to do about it. I'm just going to change that candle for you. Okay, lovely. So we have a new, fresh, bright candle, which I also feel is very relevant to your reading. Yes. Prickly stuff going on around you. I kind of feel like you are in the middle of something here. And there are two sides to this. Now, I do see you in the middle here. However, I think the circumstances are having an effect on you. Now, there's a really positive outcome to be had. Moon dance celebration. I think once you know what's going on, I think you'll be able to address it. In the meantime, remain balanced. Flamingos are very, very, very good at standing on one leg. They remain balanced. They're tall, they're seen, they're beautiful, they're flamboyant. And an owl really observes and notices. Literally, this cats and dogs, prickly scenarios going on around you. Let it unfold and see it from all angles here. You're being asked to see something from all angles. You are affected by this because you're bang in the middle. You're caught in the middle. It could almost be like if you've got a couple of friends and they've had a massive falling out, and neither of them are really telling you. You know, they're telling you their side of it. They're not telling you the full picture. There's basically stuff that you don't yet know. You're needing to, there's a cutting of cords here that's going on here. Let's just draw a little bit more clarifying, some more clarifying cards for you, Cancer. What is this about? The Magician. Okay, lovely. So this is a situation that you can address, actually. That's lovely. You're not stuck with something. Whatever's going on, you're not stuck with it. We have the card of Judgment as well. Yeah, and then we have the card of the Six of Wands, which is a card of victory, leading to the Seven. How lovely. Yeah, I think that you are perfectly capable, okay, of sorting this out. Okay, this is lovely, Cancer. It might be a pain in the arse, and it might be an interruption that you could have done without. It might, take up your time and energy when you would have liked to not be dealing with it. But we're seeing a really positive outcome. We've got the Four of Wands. We have the Two of Pentacles. Something can be brought back into balance here. You can hold a balanced perspective. My lovely Cancers, I think it will take up your time. I think it's obviously uppermost in your world. Otherwise, it wouldn't be showing up as the main theme of your reading. But whatever this, whatever circumstances are going on around you, I feel like it's a circumstance that involves you by default. A bit like if your neighbours on both sides had a falling out and literally there you are, stuck in the middle. Literally stuck in the middle. Something will come to a head, or like I said, two friends, or something is going on and you're needing to see all of it. Don't allow your loyalties to be divided. I think what matters here is that you make a choice that's appropriate for you. You take charge of this. Somebody could even be saying to you, you need to, cut cords with that person because look what they've done to me, kind of stuff. Whereas actually this isn't about you cutting cords. This is about you deciding what you're going to do. I do think it does give you a little bit of a headache, if I'm honest, but I'm seeing a really positive outcome here. I suspect by the time there'll be a build up to the full moon where you just kind of can feel that things are not quite right, or things begin to escalate along with the escalation of the energy of the moon. When you get to the full moon, I think you'll be in the picture. You'll know what's going on, and at that point you'll be able to actually work out what you're going to do about it. You can decide how you want to bring this back into balance and what your choices are in this, actually. Very, very interesting. I think I'm going to move to the extendeds, my lovely Cancers. You're very welcome to join me. What I will do is I'll ask for more information, really, about what this is, how the resolution comes, because we do have a celebration card here. So we've got resolution, we've got positivity coming in, we've got so much positivity, success. The Six of Wands is the card of success. The Four of Wands is a real coming together. So I feel that everything can be sorted out in no uncertain terms. However, it might be nice to know a bit more about that. I will draw cards around connections and relationships, because we definitely have got people that are a bit prickly here, fighting like cat and dog, different sides of a story. And I will also draw cards around your career, money, finances, home, family, just the stuff of your life, and see how that is affected by this overall theme that's running through your reading. So beautiful Cancers, you're welcome to join me on either Patreon or the Moon Magic membership area where the extendeds are, or if not, I really hope to see you for another reading here on the main YouTube channel really, really soon. Tons of love. Beautiful Leos, welcome to your Moon Month reading. Okay, so what is happening for you? I'm going to cast some runes for you, and some charms as well. I haven't used these charms in this way for these monthly readings at all. This is the first time. How interesting. Look at what you have. So you have Othilla. Now this is the rune of gain, inheritance, also of separation. You have the rune of strength, Uras. You have the rune of harvest, wow. And you have the blank rune. Okay, now your charms. You have a star, a 5-pointed Venus star. You have a butterfly. You have some music notes. And you have a bunch of grapes. Lovely Leo, I think something is coming to fruition. Something's coming to harvest here. Butterfly is a final stage of something. It starts off as an egg, then it becomes a caterpillar, then it becomes a chrysalis, and then it becomes a butterfly. So something is at its final stages of emergence. Its final stages of happening. This rune always tells me the universe has your back. What else are we shown? Let's draw cards for you, lovely Leo. Oh, you've got a butterfly. Watch for the signs. Well, there you've got a sign. Okay, something is going to emerge. Follow the moon. Watch for the signs. Ring around the moon. Protection. Okay. What did I just say? The universe has your back. Okay. Let's draw your tarot cards. What's happening for my lovely Leos? Something is going on here that's coming to a point of harvest, a point of completion. I'm seeing these cards, and these, and this, and those. Let's look at these. We have, right, 10 of Wands. Something's been very oppressive, my lovely Leos. It's been boxing you in. We have the 9 of Pentacles. However, it's going to come to fruition. Something is emerging. It's going to happen. It's going to break open. You've got the 2 of Cups. You've got the 8 of Cups. How interesting. Oh, look at this. You've got the 4 of Cups. I'm hearing that UB40 song. There's a rat in the kitchen. What am I going to do? There's a rat in the kitchen. What is that about? Father of Wands. And then you have a snake, a rattlesnake. Father of Wands. You have the Ace of Wands. Wow. You've got the 6 of Pentacles and the 7 of Wands. Something's going to break open, reach a conclusion, come to a head. Something that has been boxing you in or holding you back or making you feel like you can't sing your own song or stifling your voice. Something's reaching a point, but it's got a very distinct flavour about it, lovely Leo. I feel like it's like something happens, something breaks open, and although the breaking open sort of kind of feels like for some of you there could be a little bit of underhandedness in it, like something comes to light, it's obvious, it's brought to light. At the same time, it's really empowering. Really, really empowering. I need more cards for you. Yeah, I need more cards for you. Something's brought to light. If there's something that if you have been thinking that there's something going on like behind your back, for example, I think it comes to light and you discover what it is. Something's revealed to you, but it's more than just revealed. It breaks open. It's visible. It's seen. Like a butterfly breaks out of its cocoon. But this enables you to fly. It enables you to sing your own song. It would be like if somebody had been telling you something and you've been so supportive and so kind to them and really, really lovely, and you've really been trying to cheer them up and assist them, or you've been bailing someone out. That's a good example, actually, of the energy. If you were bailing someone out, they've been telling you, you know, they really couldn't afford this and couldn't afford that. And actually, you've been giving your endless support, and suddenly you discover they've got a big stash of cash somewhere and they could easily have supported themselves. You know, it's got this sort of, and that frees you. It's like, you know what, I don't have to be looking after you. You know, you can look after yourself. There's something that frees you to sing your own song, or if you've not been speaking about something because you thought someone was so, I don't know, maybe you thought someone was so amazing that you didn't, and you put yourself, almost saw yourself in an inferior position or something like that, and somehow suddenly you see them for who they are, and you think, oh wow, you're just normally human as well, so I can be, you know, something is coming to fruition. It's very interesting, but there's a distinct flavour that something of yours can come to fruition. You can, I don't know, be your big, bold, bright, wonderful Leo. Bring your big, bold, bright, wonderful Leo-ness into the world. And somehow something of that has been stifled or stopped, and suddenly you can do this. You can declare it. It can be brought out into the open. If any of you have been connected with, I don't know, maybe if you were seeing somebody and you haven't, for whatever reason, been able to bring that out into the open, to declare it. You'll be able to. It breaks out. Perhaps you didn't want to offend someone, and then you discover that, I don't know, all sorts of scenarios are flooding through my mind. But yeah, you suddenly think, we can do this. We can be out in the open. Something is happening, but it feels very celebratory for you. Actually, lovely Leos, very celebratory. Let's get a bit more information for you. I'm looking forward to your extended readings. So you have the Five of Swords and you have the Six of Swords. So there's a progression. You have the Sun, lovely, your ruler, lovely Leo. You have the Nine of Cups. And you have the King of Wands. Gosh, I feel like you get back your power. Get your power back. Something is blown open and you get your power back. I feel like for some of you, maybe somebody almost like has egg on their face in some way, shape or form. You know, they're seen for what they are if they've, you know, been behaving badly or not been completely upfront or honest. Egg on their face. It's like accountability arrives and boo, off you go. You are out there, lovely Leo, being your lovely Leoness in every possible way. There's a real sense of visibility of you if you've been suffering as well from any kind of element of, I was going to say not okayness, but you know, any element of sort of depression or anxiety or feeling stifled, or you can't really be seen, or you've been low in physical energy for some reason, which could be emotionally connected for some of you. Suddenly something comes along and it triggers this breaking open. It's like you get permission to shine again, lovely Leo. Something gives you permission to shine from a situation where you felt that you couldn't really, it's like you couldn't be true to yourself. And now you are, and you can. And you have been protected, actually, through this, and you are being protected through this. So whatever has been going on that breaks open, it literally does give you permission to be yourself again. I love this. I absolutely love it. It's beautiful, really beautiful. Loving your energy. Lovely Leo, I just feel I'm probably almost ready to dive into the extendeds. I mean, I'm thrilled this is happening for you, really thrilled. Something comes to fruition. Gosh, if you've had any financial difficulties and you've really been struggling, but you've been waiting for something to land, to arrive, to emerge, I think this is the point when it does. And because it arrives, emerges, you're able to, it's like you can now, it's like you can go out again. You know, if you couldn't afford to go out, if you've been really having to watch your budget, be really, really careful with absolutely every single penny, so you couldn't go out and enjoy yourself, and suddenly you can. Something comes to fruition, it's sorted, it comes to you, the outcome comes to you. There is a separation from a experience, a circumstance, a relationship, a situationship that concludes, and from it a harvest comes, and it feels very elated, very joyous, and empowered is the right word, I think, lovely Leos. I think what I'm going to do in your extendeds is ask for more information about this. What are you actually separating from? What are you coming out of? What's the restriction? And also, how does that kind of reach its conclusion? So that, you know, get any guidance and assistance around how that happens. And then I will also be asking about kind of relationships, love, you know, all relationships as well, not just intimate relationships, also money, career, finances, and the stuff of your life. So beautiful Leos, you're welcome to join me for the extendeds if you wish, if you'd like to know, find out more information or make some more inquiries with me in that reading. They are available on Patreon and in the YouTube membership area of the channel. Otherwise, beautiful souls, I will see you really soon, I hope, for some other readings, and thank you so much for being here. Tons of love, Leo. Virgo, welcome to your monthly reading. Let's just cast some runes for you. Okay, so your runes are Swallow, the rune of wholeness. We have the rune of strength, Aries. We have fertility, Ingus, and the blank rune. What about charms for you? Let's see what charms come through for you. Okay, we have a little mermaid that sort of just fell out in front of me. Okay, we have a mermaid. We have love, how beautiful. We have little bells. I always think that these remind me of wedding bells, confetti. You have a bird, a swift or a swallow. You have another bird, a little wren. And you have an elephant. Interesting little set of charms. I feel there's going to be some news coming to you, my lovely Virgos. Yeah. Perhaps even an invitation to something. We have the swift, the swallow. I think it will require a swift response, actually. Funny enough, I feel as though it reminds you of something as well. How interesting. Not sure what it is, but let's just listen to that, hear that, and draw your cards. Hey, lovely Virgos, moon shining, stay in integrity. Okay. And what else do we have? Moon dance celebration. Okay. Yeah, I feel you might actually find yourself invited to some kind of a celebration of some sort. It could be a wedding, or some kind of a celebration is going on. Stay in integrity. What is this about? Let's draw your tarot cards. I think that will do us for now. Let's have a look. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. We then have the Three of Swords. We have the Seven of Wands. We have Father of Swords. Yeah, stay in integrity. We have the Nine of Swords as well, Mother of Cups. We have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Swords, and we have the Lovers. How interesting, which is also a card of choice. Nevertheless, love. I rather feel I think you hear news of something here, or you're invited to something, or there's a get-together. There's something that you have a connection with that presses a few buttons around you. It could come through a celebration. I mean, it could almost be something like an ex or an old flame. You hear through the grapevine that they're getting married or something, and it just pulls on those heartstrings. It reminds you that something is definitely over. Now, that's not going to apply to all of you, obviously, my lovely Virgos, but that's just a scenario that came to mind. But if we think of the energy of that, I do feel there's a space of possibility around you. But I do feel that some kind of news comes to you, some event takes place, or some news that does press you. I think your buttons are pressed in some way, shape or form, my lovely Virgos. That was just one scenario that came through. And you are being asked to really stand in integrity over this. It's kind of time to really move on from something in absolute wholeness. Really, really important to move on. I think something in your world, my lovely Virgos, has genuinely come to an end. I think quite a while ago. I don't think we're talking recent, like yesterday type history. But I think something is sort of brought back up for you in some way, shape or form. And within that, I mean, happy birthday as well for those of you. It's your birthday time of year. I'm wondering whether there is, we're heading for this time of year, your solar returns. I am wondering whether there is something around a revisiting of something here. But the pathway forwards is the pathway forwards. You could even actually find yourselves in a position where there is an opportunity for you, because you're moving into a space of fertility here. You've got fertility in the blank rune. However, you've kind of got to have the strength to go there. And there's a lot of memories around with this elephant. I feel that there's something around you where your buttons are pressed, memories are brought to the surface, and you it's not exactly calling yourself into question, but yeah, I basically think memories are abundant for you, or seem to be here. And those memories are challenging for some of you. However, there is an invitation here to choose to step into a space of possibility. There's a celebration around you. I need more cards actually for you, my lovely Virgos. I need more clarification. What is Virgos being invited to step into? An ending and a new beginning. We've got the card of the World. Okay. I think you've got to acknowledge and validate for real that something has permanently ended and there's a new beginning around you. Beautiful. This is what's happening. Sometimes as well, when something that we really want comes through, it reminds us of something that we didn't get to have. Okay. In your extendeds, I will draw detailed cards around relationships and also money, career, finances, the stuff of your world, to see what, try and get a bit more detail around this. But you are in a space of both a completion of something, an ending, or acknowledging the ending. Maybe you don't want to acknowledge the ending with the Two of Swords. It's been really hard for you to genuinely kind of put down that conflict, that challenge, to move on. There's something that's been hard for you to move on from, my lovely Virgos. Now, this is a general reading. Obviously, if it was a personal reading, I'd be looking in great detail at what this was about. But it's I should also say I'm not available to do personal readings. So sometimes people do contact me, and I'm not able to do that. But beautiful souls, I think this has been really hard for you to move on from. Something happened in your world that has been a very challenging ending to come to terms with, whatever that is for you in the uniqueness of your circumstances. Now you're being guided through and beyond this. Now it may be that you're invited to a social event and something is opened up for you. Stay in integrity. Don't allow any kind of residue of history to get in the way of a new space of possibility for you. I think you've had trouble moving on from something. That's what we're seeing here. May we please get a little bit of additional information around this, around my Virgos moving on and beyond this, please. Okay, so we've got the Seven of Wands. We've got the Magician. We've got the Four of Wands. This is interesting. And the card of Judgment. How interesting. I actually think, my lovely Virgos, that I think there is genuinely an opportunity for you to actually move on to something. To move on to something that you will love, to make a choice. However, it may go, I sort of feel with the Seven here, it's like you're conscious of what other people think, really. And I think this is about making a choice that's right for you. I think there's a choice available to you. I think somebody offers you a direction that would enable you to step into a space of new possibilities, to have a celebration. But there's something that's tangled into this that connects to something that ended, that was really, really challenging, that you have struggled to move beyond. And I think there's a sort of like a dilemma going on here. I think, my beautiful Virgos, because there's every possibility of you making a new commitment if you wish to, making a proper choice about this, I think I'm going to move to the extendeds. And what I will just do before we do that is just draw a couple more cards to see how this unfolds. Queen of Pentacles, the Tower. Wow. I'm taking that one off the top. And the Eight of Cups. Okay. In a funny way, my beautiful souls, I suspect, and this is why it's the stay in integrity, I suspect that the new beginning and the new potential for you, I feel like circumstances are going to happen to kind of almost bring a decision sort of into the forefront of your world with the Tower card. And there's a huge possibility in this. It absolutely is the right pathway to be on. But I think maybe the way it arrives, presses your buttons, reminds you of where you've come from. It's an amazing opportunity, actually. But because it arrives in a way that you possibly weren't expecting, or it's because your buttons are pressed, funnily enough, the reason your buttons are being pressed in the bigger picture is to help you to actually move through and beyond something. To kind of move to that point of judgment where you allow yourself to celebrate a different future. However, there's something here that may feel, I think, for some of you, it just presses buttons. It reminds you of something from the past. Yeah, I'm seeing definitely buttons pressed. I'm going to move to your extendeds, I think, my beautiful souls. So Virgos, let's just summarize for you before I do that. What I'll do in the extendeds is I will really look at kind of this feels like a bit of a tussle going on. I'll kind of look at this and look at kind of what's going on, look at maybe what is being presented to you, how this is emerging, and we'll look at more detail. But the essence of your reading is really saying that something of the past sort of almost like resurfaces or comes back to you, or you're reminded of it, or your buttons are pressed. The purpose of this, there is a higher purpose, is to kind of get you to walk away and to recognize that the very essence of what's taking place is here to remind you of possibility, not impossibility. So beautiful souls, there's massive, massive potential here. However, I think it's simply this, as I said, it's pressing your buttons, and that seems to me to be the challenge around moving through and into this space of possibility. I think in your extended readings, I'm going to just draw more cards around this. I'll probably draw cards around relationships, around people, and I generally do draw cards around the stuff of your life, your home, your family, your work, money, career, all the stuff, the physical, real stuff that is manifested around us. So Virgos, I think there's a real opportunity here. Be conscious of the way your buttons may be being pressed, and really contemplate and consider that in the higher picture, what you're being shown is an opportunity to acknowledge that something has permanently ended, which I think you already know, but to kind of move beyond it and give yourself permission to emerge kind of afresh. There's a real energy of new beginnings here, a new commitment, a new opportunity to a new phase of manifestation in your life. However, you've kind of got to stay in that higher vibration of, I always think integrity also involves gratitude for absolutely everything, for the learning. Beautiful souls, you are welcome to join me for the extendeds. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the Moon Magic Tarot channel. I'm sending you all the love in the world, beautiful Virgos. Tons of love, and I look forward to seeing you again really soon. Hold that integrity, hold that vision, and recognize you're being guided. Tons of love. Wonderful Libra, welcome to your readings. I'm going to get some runes for you, some charms, and then we'll draw your cards. Ooh, that was loud. Wow. You have Manas, the rune of the self, and Perth, the rune of initiation. You have the rune of harvest. Wow. And you have the rune of breakthrough. Wow, again. Okay, what is happening for my beautiful Libras this moon month? Your charms. Okay, you have an octopus. But let me show these to you. You have an octopus. You have a flower. This is a 5-pointed flower, so like a Venus star. And you have a fish bone. How interesting. Okay, so you have octopus, flower, and fish bone. Getting to the bare bones of something, breaking it down. I feel like you're juggling many things at once at the moment, spinning lots of plates. Now, I kind of feel like you're loving it. There's quite a nice energy around you. I think you're working towards something and you're feeling pretty positive about the way you're working towards it. I feel that's really there. And you can see the process that you're engaged in. I think it's really, really working for you, but you are also spinning a lot of plates. I think the key is to sort of break this down into kind of bite-sized pieces, actually, Libra, in order to achieve that breakthrough moment. However, the breakthrough moment is being promised by the look of it. Let's look at your cards. So we have drawing down the moon. Absolutely, you're manifesting, you're making it real, you're making it happen. Talk to the moon, communicate. Ooh, that is rather groovy. Okay, talk to the moon, communicate. Okay, yeah, get to the nitty-gritty of things. You may find that in amongst your spinning of plates, there's a need to communicate really, really clearly, especially if you're liaising and working with others. Let's draw your tarot cards, see what else we're shown, lovely Libra. We have Mother of Pentacles. How interesting. And the Lovers. Okay. Seeing this. We have the Devil. I'm seeing the 9 of Pentacles. Yes. That one. Okay. Maybe one more as well. Yes. Okay. So Mother of Pentacles, be gentle with yourselves, my beautiful souls, and be sure to take time. Because you're spinning a lot of plates, be sure to take time to invest in your partnerships, your connections. There could even be a connection or a partnership coming in to help you, actually. Interested in the Devil here. We have Daughter of Cups. We have 6 of Wands, the card of success. We have the 10 of Swords. Wow, we have the 2 of Pentacles and the 7 of Wands. Okay, lovely Libra. Yeah, you are, I think this is going to be a really busy month for you. I think you literally are spinning plates, coming up for air almost, investing heavily in something. I think help will come, possibly at a time when, oh, do you know what's coming through with the Devil? Actually, beautiful souls, lovely Libras, you are so lovely and so wonderful, and you do absolutely everything, but you don't always allow yourself to receive help. A message is coming through here. It won't be for all, it will be for some, but some of you, you do need to accept help. You know, cut the cords of anything within you that say that you're not allowed to receive help and support. Accept the help that is offered to you, because it's going to make this come together so much more quickly. Yeah, success is on the way. Stuff that has been quite a challenge to achieve. I think you're going to see it take shape, take form. You may actually have been dealing with some challenges, some extras is what I'm seeing here with the octopus. One of the reasons I think you're spinning many plates is because actually I think there have been some extra things in your world that were unexpected. I think you've had to deal with some periphery stuff or extra stuff that came in. To be quite honest with you, it was a pain in the proverbial. Just when you didn't need it, just when you thought you were on track, suddenly along comes almost like the misdemeanors or having to pick up the pieces from some other people or other stuff that you hadn't expected. But it's not going to stop you, lovely Libra. Just get to the bare bones of these things, pay attention to the details. Whatever you are manifesting, this is happening for you. Communicate clearly. Ask Grandmother Moon for help and support. And I'm also hearing work with the cycles of the moon. So very relevant to this video. Work with the moon phases. Go back if you haven't listened to it. It may pay you. Obviously, you can do whatever you wish. You have conscious free will and choice. But go back and check out the the moon phases, re-listen to them. Or if you find that there's a hiccup or an interruption, come back to this video. You might want to bookmark the page and go back to the date that's down in the the description below the video and find the timestamp of the moon phase and listen to what's happening, listen to the energy, work with the energy of the moon, because actually you'll know when to kind of persevere, when to just ease off, take a breather. And I think that's really going to help you in manifesting whatever it is you are working on, just the stuff that you are navigating, all the busyness of everything. But you're going to reach a breakthrough moment. I think you're going to reach a point where your work, you see the results of your work, it's paying off. And despite the impact of some extra stuff that you're having to deal with unexpectedly, I actually think you're going to achieve what you need to achieve, irrespective of other people's input or negativity, and I would add with potentially some help coming in. For some of you, there is an issue of balance between work and, between sort of work and home life. I'm seeing that you need to be a little protective as well of, for some of you, something you're working on as well. Let's get some more cards for you, lovely Libra. We have the Ace of Cups, we have the Page of Swords, we have the Three of Wands, and we have the Page of Wands. Okay, wow. I actually think some of the extras that come into your world are actually helping you to create a better foundation, a better platform to launch from in terms of where you are going, your future. Now, this is a moon month where there really is a portal to the future. We're creating a portal to the future. We're creating we're sowing the seeds, we're creating the groundwork of what we are manifesting, and that includes our thoughts, our ideas, our visions, as well as our actions. I'm seeing you being very active in manifesting, my lovely Libra. Very, very active, and I'm seeing you really building on something that you're already working with and seeing the breakthrough moment, the result. But I do think there are some extras that you are having to deal with. They may even feel like a bit of a spanner in the works, or maybe somebody's tried to come in and be a bit poisonous. Octopuses squirt out poisonous ink. Just get to the bare bones of what's going on, attend to the details, I don't think there is anything here for you to have to worry about in any way, shape or form. This is about being consistent, being steady, accepting help from those who wish to support you, not putting yourself under too much pressure, allowing things to unfold at an appropriate pace, investing your energy wisely, knowing that this is going to come to fruition. What you need will come to you at the right time. The knowledge you need will come to you at the right time. Communicate clearly. Listen to signs and signals. Work with the moon phases. I feel almost like whatever is in your world, you will be able to deal with it standing on your head. And fabulous. You'll juggle an awful lot of stuff, and I feel you're going to seriously come out on tops of this, really, on a foundation for the future. You're going to emerge triumphant, really, which is just lovely with the Six of Wands. I'm very curious to know what this is kind of about, my lovely Libra, so I think I'm going to move into the extendeds. I mean, you will probably know for yourself what this is about. In the extendeds, I'm going to ask for more information, kind of about what this is about as well. The Ten of Swords coming in, something you're having to deal with. I think you attend to it and it's fine, but I'm just going to make some inquiries about this and see if we can get more guidance and information around how to deal with whatever this is. If it's an extra something that's coming into your world. Again, with the Devil card, is there something that you're having to deal with on top of your very busy world that you'd rather not have to, but you are? So we'll draw cards around that. I will be asking about relationships across the board, and also home life, family life, the stuff of your world, your career, money, finances, the physicality and the immediacy of stuff in your world as well. Beautiful Libras, you are very welcome to join me for the extendeds. They are on Patreon and in the YouTube membership area. Beautiful souls, whether I see you for those readings or others here on the main YouTube channel, tons of love, and don't forget to check out those moon phases during the month if you feel that will be of help to you as you navigate what looks to be a very busy time for you, but productive, valuable and successful. Tons of love, beautiful Libras. Scorpio, welcome to your readings, or your reading rather. Let's draw some runes and some charms actually first for you. Okay, you have the rune of Winjo, joy, fab. You have Gibbous, partnership. You have the rune of Awaz, movement. You have Manaz, the rune of the self. And you have Nathis, the rune of constraint. This rune advises patience. Something is emerging in your world, beautiful Scorpios. And it is gathering momentum, actually, but your charm's coming out here. However, what I want to say is I don't think it's emerging. Well, curious enough, I think it is emerging, but I think it's emerging in the background. So you're not seeing like the immediacy of the results as yet. Let me move this here. Let's see, we have a beautiful star, your charms. And I'm hearing that song, Wish Upon a Star. This is a Venus star, a beautiful fairy sitting in there. We have a beautiful bird. We have a little sausage dog. We have a mermaid. And then we have a very tiny little wren, like a little wren type bird. Let me show you those. Hold them up to the camera. Okay. I feel that you are kind of working on a dream almost, is what I want to say. And I don't think it has emerged as fast as you wanted it to, my lovely Scorpios. I think you've made a commitment to it. It's almost as though it's only become a little bird when you would have liked it to become a big bird. And I think there's still kind of, curiously enough, I still think there's quite a lot of kind of dream time energy around what you're doing. Let's draw cards and see what else we're shown. What is happening for lovely Scorpios? Ring around the moon, protection. and Moonbeam's Focus. Wow, those cards are really, really powerful, my lovely Scorpios. Okay, I think whatever you are bringing forth and manifesting, there's going to be a real purpose to the fact that I think it might take longer than you had originally intended. Okay, I think your idea, your desire, your dream is being protected, and you do need to focus on it. I think one of the challenges that seems to be around you is that, I venture to say, impatience. You know, when you just want something to move forwards, and because it's not, you know, we sometimes we just sort of feel like giving up. We kind of think, well, that's not working, so there's no point in doing that. There is a point to doing that. There really, really is. Let's draw more cards. Let's draw your tarot cards. What else are we showing, my lovely Scorpios? In this moon month, I mean, things will change. Things will move forwards. I think there is a need for really, really good focus in terms of what you're manifesting and what you're creating, but kind of like holding it in the dream time and trusting that circumstances will evolve. I think this is, whatever you're manifesting is something that's really quite amazing and really right for you. Let's see what cards we are shown. For some reason these feel sort of separate, so I'll leave them there. Daughter of Pentacles. Okay, so this is like the Page of Pentacles, but look, followed by the Son of Pentacles. So that's really interesting. Things are progressing behind the scenes faster than you realise. Oh, wow. A significant progression. We've got Daughter of Pentacles, Son of Pentacles, Mother of Pentacles. We then have Ace of Cups, and we then have Two of Wands. I think perseverance, steady progress, gentle progress. Be gentle with yourself. I think you're putting yourselves under huge pressure here to try and make this happen, make it manifest, make it emerge more quickly or fast. It's going to speed up. It will gather momentum. I think that the patience required will pay off actually in some way. What else do we have here? We have the Seven of Wands and we have the Ten of Wands. Yeah, I think you are putting yourself under pressure to try and make this happen fast. And this is not something that can happen fast. It requires your focus, steady progress, a very, what I would call, actively co-creative relationship with the universe, letting it unfold gently, and doing it for the love of it, as well as doing it for the end result. Be gentle with yourselves, beautiful souls. Let's draw more cards. Yeah, this doesn't have to be hard work. I think there'll also be, you know, with the Seven of Wands, I think there'll be some adjustments to make along the way, or sort of more information that comes in that means that the way in which you do this is going to be much more, it will be defined. So the way that you think it's going to flow, I mean, it will flow forward. It is genuinely gathering momentum. And your commitment to it is completely right. Your belief in what you are manifesting is absolutely right. It's really, really 100%. You're spot on, my lovely Scorpios. You really are. The key here really is recognising that it's almost as though there are going to be some additional things that show up along the way that you're going to need to know. And they have to emerge at the right time, in the right time and place. It's like, I feel like there's divine timing involved here. Let's draw more cards to see what we're shown. See this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Okay, we have the Lovers. We have the Two of Wands. We have the Sun. Yeah, you see, this is so bright, this idea. It is, and we have the Empress. This is really, really, really worth your investment. Your commitment and your investment are so worthy of following through. We have the Three of Wands. This will move forwards. And we have the Ace of Cups showing up again. Look, your dream, your vision, your desire is going to come to fruition. It really is. It's going to happen. That spark, that idea, that the decision to follow this particular pathway, Scorpio, it was completely the right thing to do. I think this reading is giving you so much validation to continue. It was the right thing to do. It was the right choice. Absolutely, completely and utterly, in every possible way. It will gather in momentum, but there's a period of time that it needs to kind of to happen, to grow. This is one of those points when I think I'll use something that I'm doing actually as an example. So I'm building, some of you may even know this, I'm building a massive course that is teaching people to read tarot cards. It's way more than that though. It's a journey of soul evolution. And I'm combining all my psychological, emotional knowledge from my 30 years of counselling work, all of the different trainings I've done. There's so much I've done, my shamanic trainings, all sorts of things are coming into this course. When I started it, I kind of thought, gosh, maybe this will take me 6 months, maybe a year. I'm over a year into this, and it's really beginning to take form and take shape, but so there is so much more than I originally intended to it, because of course it's not just creating the course material, it's actually all the periphery stuff that goes around it. I've been working with a group of students who've been trialing my material, listening to their feedback. There have been massive adjustments to make, but in a really good way, additions. It's taken me in different directions. It's very unique to me in the way that I work. It's a very, very different course, but it's taking a lot longer, and I've had to really come to terms with the fact that to do this, that it's worth doing, and it's worth doing it well. And it's not happening as quickly as I thought, and I feel there's something like that happening in your world. Because it is worth doing, and it is worth doing well, my beautiful Scorpios. So stay on track. This moon month is asking you not to falter. Pay attention to the details. Stay on track. If there are any delays to the progress that you thought you were going to make, trust that they are providential and you're going to be shown additional information. Stay on track. Your choice, your commitment, your decision to whatever it is that you are manifesting. And that will be, it will be unique to you. It's not necessarily a project, though it could be. Whatever this is for you, beautiful Scorpios, this is really, you're going to begin to, I think you'll probably reach almost like one of those major milestones along the way during this moon month. But I don't think you'll reach the end goal, but it will be a major milestone that will really consolidate that you made the right choice, the right commitment, the right decision. But at the moment, you're needing to see it through. Beautiful souls, this is your reading, and I'm going to move on to the extendeds. You're very welcome to join me if you wish. They are on Patreon and they are in the YouTube membership area. Now, Scorpio, I think what I'm going to focus on is really asking about any support, any information, any guidance that you need to help you to stay on track. We will draw cards around relationships because this could connect to people for you. This could be connecting to a relationship that isn't moving forwards for some of you. I'll also connect to work, money, career, finances, and the actual stuff of your world, your home, your family. So look at the practical stuff as well and see what we're shown and if any additional guidance comes through for you in navigating this moon month, where I think a lot is happening. I think it's going to be busy, productive, but it won't always run as you planned, and I don't think you'll achieve everything you want to achieve. Ironically enough, you'll probably achieve more, but it'll be like stuff that's behind the scenes rather than the actual stuff that you thought you would be creating. Lovely Scorpios, tons of love to you. I look forward to seeing you for some other readings, either here, either in the extendeds or indeed here in the Moon Magic YouTube channel. Tons of love, beautiful Scorpios. Hey, my wonderful Saggies, welcome to your readings. Let's check in and see what is happening for you for this moon month. I'm going to cast some runes first. 3 are coming through for you. You have partnership, Gibbous. You have Ingas, fertility, and you have Isa, the rune of standstill or ice. Let's check out some charms for you as well. What's coming through for my little Saggies? Wow, loads of charms. Loads of charms. Okay, so you have best friends. It's coming through first, this little charm. You have a beautiful heart. You have a butterfly. You have a symbol of infinity. You have a hand with spirals all on it. Can you see those? A little hole in it. You also have an owl. Wow, that's a beautiful selection of charms, my lovely Sagittariuses. Let's have a little look. What do we have? Best friends. That kind of came out first, didn't it? The heart, the butterfly, symbol of infinity, the hand, and the owl. I'm going to draw some cards before we dive in, but I can see where I think your reading is going. Okay, my lovely Saggies, we have the falling moon release blocks and quicksilver moon changes. Okay, now bearing in mind the energy, as you will have gathered from the bit at the beginning of this video, that the energy feels like very much like a portal to the future. So we're really being sometimes challenged, but opened, ways are being opened for us to be able to become very, very conscious of what we're thinking about, what we're feeling, and therefore what we are manifesting. Release blocks, quicksilver moon changes. I'm seeing something shift quickly for you here. A circumstance, or possibly a connection, a relationship, connection with someone, shifting, changing, very, very fast. And yet we have Isa. I suspect this is telling you to release blocks, actually. Let's draw your tarot cards and see what we're being shown. Let's get more detail for my lovely Saggies for this moon month. May I have information for my lovely Saggies for this moon month? I'm going to go with those. And also this one. And this one. Okay, we have, first of all, we have Son of Wands. So that's the Knight of Wands, which is quite a fast card. We then have the 5 of Cups and the 5 of Wands. Okay. We have the Star. We have the Devil. How interesting. We have the 2 of Swords. Gosh, this is going to be an interesting month for you, Saggies. It really, really is. Okay, we then have the 9 of Cups. We then have the 10 of Cups and the 2 of Pentacles. Wow. Wow. I actually think some really significant change, my lovely Saggies, is going to potentially come to you, and fast. However, there's kind of like a process to go through to get there. The end result is fab. I mean, you've got the 9 of Cups, you've got the 10 of Cups. The 2 of Pentacles, look at the infinity symbol coming out again here. Look at the 5-pointed Venus stars showing up here in the Pentacles and here in the Star card. However, you have to unblock yourself. There's a perspective within you, my lovely Saggies, that there's some kind of a block. I think it's within you rather than without you, as it were. Within rather than outside. And it feels like it's rooted in kind of past disappointments. So there's something that you will need to kind of cut through, release, cut the cord to. Now you have Gibbous, the rune of partnership. if there was somebody who you kind of saw, I don't know, maybe let's say, I'm going to use the example of if you're single, but obviously you're not, this is a general reading, so it's not going to apply to, this example won't apply to everyone, but this is the kind of flow of energy, and I'll then apply it to different scenarios. I think, let's say somebody fired you up, floated your boat, opened the door of your passions, and then they disappointed you. You discovered that they weren't really, you felt betrayed, you felt that they weren't really who they said they were. There's something within you that still seems to have a connection to them, and you're needing to cut that sort of and release it. It's like this sort of acceptance that they are who they are, and that's it. Just let it go. Don't ponder on what happened. Let it go. I get the impression that you've probably to some extent have released them, but there's a definite kind of permanent, do they still pop up in your mind? If this was a friend who betrayed you, a best friend, or it was a circumstance, a situationship rather than a relationship where you felt betrayed and let down. It was something that you had a degree of belief in, I think, in this circumstance, this situation, this person. And although in many ways I think it is behind you, it kind of isn't as well. There's like a lingering of something here. Almost as if a part of you has slightly kept this alive within you, kind of through dwelling on the conflict of it. When you go over and over something because you think, well, how did that happen? Or could I have done something differently? Or could they have done something differently? Or will they come back and will it work out? I think you're being asked to see the sort of the truth of this, really, actually. And the moment you release, it's like every residue of this from within your mind, this circumstance, this situation, this relationship, situationship, whatever it was, I think the moment you release it and you let go of it, the moment this whatever it is comes to mind, you just let it go. You kind of make a clear-cut choice that it's like you accept this. Not only is it sort of done and dusted, but probably that it wasn't right for you. There's something about an acceptance of this. The moment that block is released, you are going to see a massive change, a radical shift. The rune of fertility, Ingers, it speaks of completion of beginnings. So it's kind of like when you're processing something and you're moving through the stage of a new beginning, there are inevitably little reminders of past scenarios, past situations. There is something here that you are needing to let go of permanently. Let it go, move beyond it. The moment you release that, or any blocks associated with it, blocks that are associated with, particularly with betrayal or disappointment. Some of you may have experienced many throughout your lives. I'm looking at all these rainbow lines. There's a need to kind of heal this from within. The moment you release it, I think changes are coming. Let's check out and see what these changes are. Okay, so we've got the Seven of Swords. We've got the Strength card. We have Temperance. Do you know, some of these cards are coming up consistently in the different signs. It shows how powerful the global energy is really for us all at the moment. I am seeing this and this one. Okay, we've got the Three of Cups and we have the Hierophant. Wow, okay. This is very significant. So beautiful, Saggies. I think this is about letting go of any need for kind of retribution, or to almost like see someone, you know, when you just want justice. I mean, we all have it in us, don't we? If we experience a letdown, part of us thinks, I'd like them to get their comeuppance. I think there's a need, because I think they kind of snooked away really in a way that didn't really take an ownership of maybe, or whoever, or whatever the situation. It kind of got swept under the carpet, or somebody snooked away without ever taking full responsibility for what they'd done. And that's so anti and opposite to your Saggy energy of integrity, honesty, being out there, being upfront about these things. And actually, with this sign of infinity again here, with the Strength card, I think there's a need to kind of almost just to sort of spit it out, let it go, not to hold on to any need for kind of retribution or accountability, because as long as you're holding on to that, you're holding on to the conflict of that scenario. And that's what I'm seeing. The moment you release it, you let it out. The moment you stop tussling with it, the moment it stops entering your head space, and indeed your heart space for some of you, I think that's when the balance is returned, channels are open, and I think very quickly, radically quickly, you'll be celebrating a new commitment to a circumstance, a situation, a relationship, a situationship, a person. That will be the right one for you, as opposed to someone that, or something, or a circumstance that will replicate what you wanted. It will be bringing you what you wanted that the previous scenario didn't, where you were hurt or let down or disappointed. And that is what I'm seeing. So there's this bit of inner work to do here, but I think you'll see a quicksilver change that happens really fast. The transformation will happen literally kind of overnight. If you can just let go of that, what you want is then going to come in. And that's pretty fab, because, you know, we've got some really, really lovely charms here suggesting longevity, something coming in that is what you desire. Matters of the heart, you're going to love this. Loyalty, true friends, best friends. So whereas I think there was some form of betrayal or letdown, now we are talking about the opposite. And it could be in friendship, it could have been a colleague relationship. As I said, it could be a circumstance that let you down. But I think then what you desire will then happen, and fast. But you're kind of, interestingly enough, you're kind of in the driving seat on this one, Sagittarius, because it's actually down to whether or not you can shift that little residue, or for some of you, that big residue of what has previously happened. That is what I'm seeing here. Sagittarius, I'm going to move to your extendeds. Now, in the extendeds, I will make more inquiries about perhaps advice, guidance, how to release this, how to release those blocks, but also what's then coming for you. We'll be looking at relationships, that can be love or otherwise. We'll also be looking at the stuff of your world, the physicality around you, your career, your money, your finances, your home, your place, the place where you live, all the stuff that is sort of that we manifest around us. We'll look at that too. You are welcome to join me for those extended readings, beautiful souls. They are on Patreon or in the YouTube membership area here on YouTube. Beautiful souls, thank you regardless for being here and for checking out the channel. Thank you to those of you who are returning. Thank you all just for following, liking, sharing, and indeed subscribing. All of these things help the channel. Tons of love, Sagittarius. I look forward to seeing you either in the extendeds or for another reading here really soon. Tons of love. Capricorn, welcome to your reading. Let's throw some runes for you first of all and see what we are shown, and some charms actually as well. I haven't used these in these monthly readings before, but really felt drawn to them today. Now we have the rune of Gibbous. This is a gift or a partnership. We then have the rune of Isa, ice. We have the blank rune. And we have Othilla. Okay, my lovely Capricorn, this is really interesting. Now, Othilla is a rune of separation, of inheritance, of gain. This is a rune of gain. The gain from Othilla comes because you leave something behind, or you've lost something. Okay, I feel that something that has been at a standstill may actually break open or come to an end. Something that's been at a stalemate perhaps. Now we have a whale's tail for your charms. we have a little tiny elephant. We have okay, we have like a little branch here. Interesting charm. Very, very interesting. And we have a wing with a rose on it. Whales sing their song. They walk, they sing, they swim the song lines of the earth. Elephants never forget. We have this branch. It feels like a branch. I'm hearing olive branch actually here. I wonder if there is to be a peaceful parting of the ways of something in your life. Or the peaceful parting or the peaceful conclusion of something that has been stuck. Let's draw more cards. What is happening for Capricorn? I feel you find your peace with something. Moon cycles, patience. Something that you have been extremely patient over. I think you've been waiting for something. And maybe it's remained stuck, and perhaps you reach a point of almost of conclusion. Watch for signs. I'm seeing your emergence from something. And full moon, forgiveness. Right, all is becoming clear. Okay, my beautiful Capricorns, I'm going to also just do your tarot cards as well. Okay, so you have the Ten of Wands. We have the Three of Swords. Okay, we have the card of the Moon. We have the Star. How beautiful. Okay. You have the Father of Cups. And lastly, this one. Okay, you have the Six of Wands. How wonderful. This is a card of success. Beautiful. Okay, my lovely Capricorns. I think there is a situation around you that's not, although it's current, it's not current as in it's something that's already happened. I think you have had the patience of a saint, some of you, in terms of the length of time that it's taken to try and process this. I think it's weighed heavy on you. Now, for some of you, you may even actually have experienced a bereavement, a loss, and you've been processing grief. For others, I think you have been trying to process a situation which has felt sort of stuck. You haven't quite known which way to go. It's been very emotional for you. And what I'm seeing here is that this is a moon month where something breaks open. It's almost as though you can sing your song again, feel liberated. If you've had a disagreement with someone, the olive branch, I think you can lay it to rest. There's a sense of forgiveness here. This is obviously a general reading. It's to reach many people. So I'll voice the messages as they come through. Some will be relevant to you in specifics and others will be for someone else. But you've been through a process of something. I do think it connects to the loss of someone or to the breakdown of something. A separation. It could be a bereavement, it could be a relationship, a connection, it could be a friendship, but there's been an ending of something, or you've needed to be processing an ending. And I think this is the time when that processing reaches a point of sort of forgiveness, of acceptance. If something broke down because you had a falling out, I think there'll be an olive branch reached out to you. You'll be able to overcome what has been a period of separation. So for some of you, it could be possibly even coming back together. But for others, there is a conclusion and a clear ending. Sometimes real property is involved. So if you've had a separation and you've been coming through a legal issue, where we get into a bit of a gridlock or a stuck position over, if you both shared a house, for example, and you've got to now sell the house and, work out that division of stuff, that comes to an end. It reaches its conclusion. I feel that you're free to move on. Actually, in some way, something is liberated. You are free to move forwards at last, to emerge from this. In whatever way, shape or form, this is going to be relevant to you. Let's draw some more cards and see if we can get a little bit of information here. Yeah, I'm seeing that you are finally able to put something down or to move on from it, actually. I do feel this is something that has weighed heavy on you. It's been very emotional. It's just been dwelling. Look at that. You get the 6 again of Wands, twice showing up. Okay, if you did actually have a significant falling out, or you've been in a very challenging situation where something has been really tested, I think your validity or your perspective will be seen. You'll be seen to have be coming through this and out the other side. You'll be respected for this as well. And we have the 3 of Wands. I sort of almost feel maybe for some of you, this is the first time for ages you can actually look ahead and envisage a future. Perhaps something has just been weighing so heavy. It's been really burdensome. I think you're going to be very satisfied with the results here. I think whatever comes to you, the gain from the inheritance, I think you're going to feel pretty good about what you've acquired or what you have received. You're part of the deal, so to speak. Okay. And you've gained from this. It isn't just stuff, actually. It's happiness. There's a contentment. I think you find your peace. You find your peace and you find it within yourself. I genuinely think you are able to put something down, lay it to rest, not be burdened by it anymore. Yes, it's like a fresh start with the Ace of Swords. A completely fresh start here. This feels really lovely, Capricorn. It does feel as though something has weighed heavy on you for a little while, whatever that may be. But yeah, I feel that you are in a place where you can actually kind of like see the light at the end of the tunnel. Look at that star here, sitting on the star with the Hermit card. I think you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You can feel content. I also think you can feel content about the way that you've handled this. I think you can kind of genuinely know that you've done your best, that you have really, really acted in the best possible way. Yeah, we are getting victory, we're getting success, the rainbow bridge of healing as well, I'm seeing here. So this has been a process to go through, and wow, you did it, Capricorn. How amazing are you? How lovely. Now, given the energy of the moon month, you may not see this result until, I want to say until towards the end, but it's interesting, it feels very imminent here actually. I'm seeing you moving away, that acknowledgement, that recognition that it's time to kind of re-emerge here. I guess there is a process. It's rather like grieving. If you've experienced a bereavement, there's a whole process of grief. And then there is a point at which there's another, it's like a process within the process, if that makes sense, where you start to process your emergence from something, to process your recovery, your acceptance, rather than being in the grieving process. It's like a further stage within it, but coming to the end of that, drawing it to a close. Capricorn, whatever came to its conclusion, you'll never forget it, and you'll never forget that person, if it was a person, for those of you that have had a bereavement. But whatever's come to its conclusion, you're never going to forget what's happened. But there's an acceptance, an olive branch here. There's genuinely a forgiveness, an acceptance, a sort of like a coming, you've come to terms with it. It's not going to weigh you heavy anymore. It's not going to decide on your outlook on life anymore. And that feels absolutely lovely. Beautiful Capricorns. Excuse me, I'm actually going to move on to the extended readings now. I think what I'll do in the extended readings for you is I will inquire a bit more about where you're going from here, because you're definitely at a point of emergence, and I'll inquire about the circumstances that kind of help you to become unstuck, just to delve more into that, to see what else we're shown. And I will of course look at relationships. It could be love relationships, could be friendships. I'll look at the energy of relationships, and also kind of money, career, finances, the stuff of your world, you know, the physical world around you. We'll draw cards for that as well. So beautiful souls, you're really welcome to join me for the extendeds if you wish. Otherwise, Capricorn, have a wonderful month of kind of re-emergence. You've waited for this and you absolutely deserve it. Tons of love, beautiful souls, and I look forward to seeing you really soon. Aquarius, welcome to your moon month reading, which is pretty much September. I'm going to throw some readings for you and see what is happening for my lovely Aquariuses. And I'm going to throw some charms as well. Oh, you have one that's come out already. This was the first one that showed itself. It says, made with love. Isn't that beautiful? Just a little tiny little charm. Let's pick your charms up first. Made with love. You have a 5-petaled flower. You have a bee. Gosh, there's a lot of fertility here for you. We have a beautiful, do you know, it's a bird. Do you know, I was looking at that and thinking upside down and thinking, is that like a fish or a feather? It's a beautiful bird. Wow, talk about the birds and the bees. And then you have a turtle. These charms in themselves, my lovely Aquarius, are talking about a period of fertility for you. Absolutely no question. We've got the birds and the bees. We have a Venus star point flower made with love. And then the turtle, which is all about creation. Wow. What are you making with love? If any of you are in a new relationship, or you're reconnecting with somebody, or you're taking some time out to spend time with somebody, or your family, or your friends, just love here. And look at this, bang on the top here. Your first rune that has shown itself is the rune of partnership. I think this is a time of love, of partnership, of connection, of relationships. We have so we have Gibbous, and then we have Algiz. Algiz is the rune of protection. We have the spiritual warrior. This is Taurus, and then we have the blank rune. I'm going to put those here and move your charms up. Made with love. We have the birds and the bees, literally. How interesting. Beautiful flower and a turtle. Let's draw your cards. I'm really intrigued. The energy around you is very much about love. You have the moon's moment, synchronicity. And you have out of bounds moon, boundaries. Okay, that's very interesting, because Taurus, the rune of the spiritual warrior, is a very dynamic, clear-cut kind of energy. So boundaries, being very clear with someone. I wonder if you are having to be very, very clear with somebody. Kind of having to uphold a situation, but with love. You know, having to hold your boundaries, but state them with love, state them with care. I'm seeing this. And we have guidance and information for my lovely Aquarius for the coming month. Okay, we have the High Priestess. Okay. We have the 5 of Swords. Something being severed here. Yes. We have the Death card. We have the 3 of Swords. The 6 of Pentacles. 0, the Fool. The 10 of Wands. And then we have the Ace of Wands and Mother of Cups. Okay. Boundaries. I think you are potentially saying no to something and simultaneously saying yes to something. It's kind of like, if you think of a boundary, if you think of the words yes and no as being boundaries, you know, yes, doors are open, no, doors are closed. So no is a boundary. When we say no to something that is unhealthy, we're actually saying yes to life. And I feel that you are having to say no to something in order to then say yes to something. You're closing the door on something. Now, this could be a personal thing. It could be something like a thinking pattern within you. It could be your relationship with yourself, saying no to something. If any of you have any kind of addictions, alcohol, anything like that, you're saying no to it in order to bring in the new. It could be a person that you say no to, severing contact, an unhealthy thinking pattern, a situation, a circumstance. But this is the real biggie here. You're drawing the line around something here, and in doing so you create a space of possibility. You create literally simultaneously by saying no, you create a new beginning. Your reading is incredibly clear, actually, Aquarius. I am seeing some of you walking away, but you're walking to something as well. This is the synchronicity, and the timing of this is perfect. It's impeccable. There is timing around you that means that you can put something down, draw a line, and literally the new can then arrive. I'm almost seeing you literally walk through a door, closing one door and stepping. It's like moving from one room to another, or literally closing the door behind you and walking into the new. Let's get more cards and get a little bit more information if we can. Your extended readings are going to be incredibly interesting because I'll be asking in depth about what it is that you are cutting cords with. We'll look at relationships, love, that kind of stuff, and we'll look at all the stuff of your life as well, your home, your family, your work, your career, money, finances. But let's just ask for more information right now for you. Okay, Ace of Pentacles. Okay. This is interesting. We have the card of the Lovers, which is actually technically a card of choice. Okay, and then you have the Four of Wands. How heavenly. Right. No wonder there's so much love, the birds and the bees. And there's a new start here. Aquarius, something is going to be offered to you. It may already have been offered. Something is offered to you. Don't cling to what you have already, because the new that you're being offered is really, really good. You need to draw the line. It's an opportunity. I mean, if for example, you were struggling with internal thinking patterns, or some, kind of something that was a little bit unhealthy for you, this would be like somebody offering you the help you need to be able to draw the line and move on, to make that choice. It's like you're being given the means to make the choice to move to something new. It would be like somebody offering you a job if you're really fed up with the job you're in, or just, you could do with a change. Someone offers you a job and you think, shall I stay with the safe zone, in the safe zone? Well, actually, the choice you're being offered is taking you to, happiness, new commitments. I mean, this is fabulous. Wow. I'm going to say, don't allow yourself, if possible, that sounds quite forceful really, but you have conscious free will and choice. It's up to you what you do. But the guidance says, don't get in your own way on this one, actually, or don't overthink it. Don't be burdened by the choice. The offer is, I think the offer is genuine. That's what I want to say. The offer for you is genuine. And I think as such, it's a really, really beautiful opportunity here. The timing is right for you to step up and have something else, something more, to step into a space of possibility. It's all about the birds and the bees, made with love. Whatever is being offered to you is lovely, and it is being offered in a genuine way. Absolutely beautiful. I think this is wonderful, my lovely Aquariuses. I really, really do. So whatever is offered to you, yeah, it's being given with honesty, decency, love. It's an opportunity, and it helps you to move away from something, to cut cords, to let something go, to transform, to move away from something that has either been hurtful or unhelpful or a burden for you. Please don't over worry about this. The new beginning here is absolutely perfect for you. The timing is impeccable. It really, really is. If there's any pressure on you, with the Ten of Wands, if there's any pressure on you from others around you to stay as you are, I would really say this is a time to make a choice that's right for you. Whatever's being offered, it's a beautiful opportunity. It really, really is. Seize the moment. It's being offered with love. It's full of potential. And it removes you from something that hasn't been really okay for you. Even if you've been ticking along nicely, it's opening new doorways for you. And these new doorways are fabulous. These new doorways are, this is about you making a commitment to the new, and also simultaneously drawing the line around something, putting something behind you, basically. A new opportunity is there. Something is to be put behind you. Aquarius, I actually feel this is your reading. I mean, it's so clear, it's untrue. I'm going to move to the extendeds, I think. You're welcome to join me. They are on Patreon and in the YouTube membership area. Now, I will literally leave this reading here and build upon it. I'm just going to ask for a lot more information around how this arrives. Is it connected to relationships? Is it connected to home, family? Is it connected to your working world? Just to explore those different areas, because this is a reading for many, so it's going to be in one or other of those areas, I'm guessing, for you, although possibly more than one area for some. Beautiful souls, thank you so much for being here and being a part of the Moon Magic Tarot community here. I look forward to seeing you again for some other readings really, really soon. Either the extendeds or here on the main YouTube channel. Tons of love, Aquariuses. This feels actually kind of magical. It really does. So don't burden yourself with anxiety. That this is genuinely being offered in such a good way. It's lovely. It's absolutely beautiful. Tons of love, Aquarius. See you soon. Pisces, welcome to your reading, beautiful souls. So the very first thing I'm going to do for you is throw some runes, cast some runes for you. Loads coming out for you. Okay, and also some charms. Okay, so what do we have for my beautiful Pisces? So for starters, you have Manas. This is the rune of the self. You have Lagos, the rune of flow. You have Algis, the rune of protection. You have fertility. Okay, Ingus, the rune of fertility. You have Rado, the rune of journey. You have Suelo, the rune of wholeness. How interesting. This looks to me to be quite a journey for you this moon month, actually, already. Right, steer your ship. Yeah, a journey of evolution. You've got here a little sausage dog. Isn't that? Let me show you your charms close up so you can see them. So you have a little sausage dog. You've got a ship steering wheel. You have a beautiful dragonfly. And you have a butterfly. Now that butterfly, on the back of it, it says, it's got a little bit of writing on it. It says, created for you. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, created just for you. Okay. So this is about steering your own ship. Seeing through the illusion. Okay. I want to say, where do your loyalties lie? My lovely Pisces. We've got the rune of the self and Suelo, the rune of wholeness. The rune of wholeness, Suelo, kind of tells you that you're moving, you're growing, you're moving in the right direction. We've got fertility, we've got movement with the rune of journey and flow as well. Something in your life can move forwards and you can steer it in the direction you want it to go in. That's what's coming through here, my lovely Pisces. And I think you can genuinely kind of emerge at the end of it. You'll know you're on track, for example. Right, let's draw some cards for you. We have information for Pisces for this month, this moon month. Night moon, shadow work. Oops. The moon's moment, synchronicity. Now, how interesting, because this came out, I think it was Aries that actually had this card. The moon's moment, synchronicities. Okay, right. I think the timing is right. Let me move all these along so we can see all your cards. The timing is right for you to take charge of something. Now, the charge of something might be to do with that inner work, that shadow work. There may be something within you that actually stops you from flowing forwards, from being able to have what you want. Now, this is a moon month when I think you could do some significantly appropriate kind of internal shadow work. The timing is really, really right for you. And from it, you can kind of emerge. I almost feel this is about making a commitment to yourself here, actually, with the little sausage dog. Steering your own ship. Seeing through the illusion. Letting yourself emerge as well. You might find you're shown things, or that stuff is going on around you that causes you to perhaps step away from something. I'm sort of feeling that there's quite an energy of what I would call retreat and solitude for you, rather than being out in the world and mega social. Well, that may change. Let's see what else we see with your tarot cards, but that's the energy that I feel around you. That one too, and that one. Let's see what we're shown here. Okay, so we have, so you've got the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, you have the Seven of Swords. Yeah, I am seeing you kind of not exactly hibernating. Ace of Swords. But I do see you kind of retreating a little bit, not for the whole moon month, but for a part of it. We've got the Daughter of Wands, and we have this infinity symbol with the snake. It's time, and then another snake, Mother of Wands. We have Daughter of Swords. We have Ace of Wands. Gosh, look at this, Ace of Wands. How amazing. You've got two aces, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, and then you've got the Judgment card. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely right, spot on, given the kind of energy. If you haven't yet checked out the energy update, I would perhaps do so, my beautiful Pisces. It's time for something to shift and turn, and you've got a wheel here as well. But I think you're in charge of this to some extent. Now, I voice that to some extent. I mean, I think overall the energy of this moon month is very much the universe is in charge, and we've kind of got to respond to circumstances. But I feel that circumstances are showing up for you, Pisces, that I think you might want to kind of retreat and ponder them. Because I think there's going to be a point of what I would call a breakthrough point. A turning point here. Daughter of Wands is like the Page of Wands, so it's quite an excited, youthful, fiery, sparky, passionate kind of energy. Something that changes your perspectives. And with Mother of Wands, it can move on quite quickly. It's like I am seeing a snake shedding its skin. A snake shedding its skin. Oh gosh, me and my language, my words. You should see the way I write. Thank heaven for spell check. It's just as bad. Yeah, Pisces, with this lightning, we've got a lot of Uranus energy coming in, particularly around the energy of the new moon, particularly at the beginning of this moon month. I think, beautiful souls, there's going to be a turn. Something's going to arrive. Now, it may cause you a conflict, but the reality is what's arriving is it's like an internal thing. There's something that's going to be mirrored to you. And the purpose of this mirror is so that you can actually see what's going on and steer your own ship. Now, I did say right at the beginning in my, the moon month update, that you might find that sometimes the energy is coming in and kind of like you might see that someone pulled the wool over your eyes, or indeed you could have been almost like, I won't say not being entirely honest with yourself, but perhaps you haven't seen something of yourself with clarity. For example, if you have been feeling lacking in some way, or you've had self-doubt, I think something might come in to really address this, to cause you to look at yourself, to see through the illusion, to recognize actually that you're an amazing person. Something is coming in. I'm going to draw a few more cards to see if I can get some clarification around this. I feel like an event, a circumstance arrives with the Ace of Swords. And you are potentially going to want to sort of retreat a little bit, just to ponder it. It may even arrive out of the blue. Just when you thought life had leveled out, something rocks up and jumps into your world, and it's almost like a wake-up opportunity, a doorway opening for you. Something wants to move in your world, Pisces. Something wants to emerge. Something wants you to see through the illusion, to see something with realness. And I think whatever happens, it's going to take you into the shadow work where you actually come through that illusion. You begin to see something through a different lens. Perhaps you begin to value something or appreciate something, including yourself. With Daughter of Wands and Daughter of Swords, there's a new perspective coming in here. And I think it becomes consolidated quite quickly. You really begin to see life through a different lens. Whereas in a way, I think you have possibly even been, I won't say exactly protecting yourself, but I mean, maybe you have been guarded. Through having to process hurt and difficulty. I think something is coming in to shift your perspective on something here. And that in itself opens something up. It turns the wheel. It's interesting, we've got an owl sitting here on the wheel. We've got another owl here. And with the synchronicity card showing up here, the timing is really, really right. It brings back that spark to you, that passion, that aliveness. You're needing to see something differently. I mean, maybe you have also, if any of you, I would say, have been suffering from sort of any form of depression or any kind of low mood, I think something comes along to shift that perspective, whatever that may be. Almost as if it sort of reminds me of, there was a film which I think was called While You Were Sleeping. And I'm trying to remember it exactly, but basically it was, I know I'm having my mental block on names. I'm pretty certain that's the name of the film, While You Were Sleeping. And this lovely young person who's the key character kind of falls in love with somebody, and I think somebody has an accident on a train station, and when he wakes up he has amnesia, and she claims to be his girlfriend. She sort of steps into the role and she falls in love with his family, and in fact I think she then falls in love genuinely with his brother. Anyway, there's a whole story. Sandra Bullock is in it, actually. She's the main leading character. But I feel like it's a really big wake-up call, actually, and it's all about her finding that she is lovable and that she doesn't, ultimately she can be loved, and she can have the family that she wanted, and she can have the life that she wanted, and she doesn't have to sort of fake it or pretend or do anything. There's something of that essence here, of you coming through the illusion of seeing yourself not through the eyes of lack, but through the eyes of the universe, who is trying to bring you things to show you your true value. That's really what the message that's coming through for you, Pisces. And I think something comes like a bolt out of the blue to bring this about. And it does, it kind of awakens you or gives you a new perspective on life, whatever this may be. Look at that Ace of Swords showing up again. Yeah, I think something comes along to change your perspective on something. The Queen of Cups, and for the better. absolutely for the better. I think there's a level of emotional appreciation that something comes through, and I think it's something very solid and very real. Maybe someone comes along and really honours you and says, look, I really value you, or there is a, let's say you're working in let's say you're working in a low paid job or something. Someone comes along and says, look, you're amazing, I'm going to give you a bonus, you should be paid double what what you're receiving. Something comes along to honour and value you, and this is to shift your perspective of who you are. Yeah, look at that, we have the sun, and it kind of helps you to come alive again, as it were, to see yourself through a different lens. A lot of this is about seeing yourself and bringing you back into wholeness. I'll talk more about this. I think I'm going to move to the extendeds, actually, because kind of what I'm feeling is I want to dive into what I would call soul loss. I'll touch base on it now before I move into the extendeds. You know, in psychotherapy, we talk about people fragmenting. You know, when we're traumatized or we've experienced difficulty, people fragment. You know, literally, we talk about the fact that we fall apart. In shamanic terms, we talk about soul loss. It's like when something goes wrong, a little part of the soul almost like evacuates the building, and that part of the soul is very healthy. It's evacuating the building to keep safe, but actually, for you to live a whole and flourishing life, you need that part of your soul back. And I feel that something comes into your world, an opportunity here for you to journey inwards, do a little piece of that shadow work, see through the illusion, and in becoming kind of whole, in seeing through the illusion, that it is as if a part of your soul returns. So any of you, if you've been grieving, as I said, processing depression, anxiety, challenging experiences, something is coming in to help to shift that perspective. That's what I'm seeing, my beautiful Pisces. Now I'm going to move to the extendeds. You are very welcome to join me. They will be on Patreon and in the YouTube membership area. Beautiful souls, the extendeds are really a way of me saying a big thank you to Patreon people and to the membership area, because all of your contributions do really enable my library to function and to be available free for anyone that needs it. So that's why they are there. And so thank you, but thank you all of you for just being here and supporting the channel. It's amazing to read for you. I think what I'll do in the extendeds, which is what I tend to do, is I'll look at things, I'll look at this generally and extend this reading. We'll work with this and move on and draw more cards. We'll look generally at what this is about. I'll look at your relationships. I'll look at the sort of realness of your world, money, careers, finances, the stuff of your world, and just see what information comes through. You are welcome to join me. Beautiful Pisces, have an amazing moon month. This feels like a turning point. Shadow work isn't always easy, but my goodness me, this is about you recognizing your own self-value, actually, as far as I can see, and something coming in to enable that to happen. Okay, Pisces, tons of love, and I look forward to seeing you for some other readings really soon, or indeed I'll see you in the extendeds.